Alright, folks, I'm in Carolina now with I Wouldn't Be Here If I Didn't Meet You. 40 minutes after the hour of 8 in the morning. This is Naga Smiles Radio.
Rain. We had a terrible fight tonight, and I can't stand the pain. I've been searching for hours and hours up and down these lonely streets. I feel scared and alone and so incomplete. I wouldn't be here if I didn't love you. I wouldn't be here if I didn't care. I wouldn't waste your time or my time in a love that's going nowhere. It's been building up for quite some time. Something had to break, but to just end it all like this would be the worst mistake. I know I don't wanna live without you. I know exactly what you mean to me, and I believe that inside we still hold the key. I wouldn't be here if I didn't love you. I wouldn't if I didn't care. I wouldn't waste your time or my time in a love that's going nowhere. I wouldn't be here if I didn't love you. Freezing cold in the pouring rain. All I wanna do is find you. Let me take you home again. Someday we're gonna look back on this, throw away the cross we had to bear. We'll have a laugh and we'll have a kiss. We'll say all is Wouldn't be here if I didn't love you. I wouldn't be here if I didn't care. I wouldn't waste your life or my life in a love that's going nowhere. I wouldn't be here, baby, if I didn't love you. I wouldn't be here, baby, if I
Standing in our silence, I hear my heart beating. And if only I could choose, I'd stay here with you, but hold me till the train is leaving.
somewhere down the line, after you're gone from sight, our love will be the same, and whispering your name, I'll cling to you with all my might. Let me dream
God, it's true.
of you.
Love will
Wake me up
Alright, folks, 30 minutes before the hour of 9 in the morning. This is Naga Smiles Radio. Here's White Lies right now with First Love Never Dies.
I tried to live without you, though I found it hard to do. I thought of yesterday, how sweet the love we shared. And I just can't forget you, 'cause first love never dies. Now I'm alone without you, don't know what I'm gonna do. You've been a part of me, I'm lost without your love. I need you badly, baby, I'm down here on my knees. First love never dies. I just wanna say that I still love you. First love never dies. Through the years that come and go, I still will say I love you. Now I'm alone without you, don't know what I'm gonna do. You've been a part of me, I'm lost without your love. I need you badly, baby, I'm down here on my knees. First love never dies. I just wanna say that I still love you. First love never dies. Through the years that come and go, I Tuloy pa rin ang awit ng buhay ko. Nagbago man ang hugis ng puso mo. Handa na akong hamunin ang aking mundo. Tuloy pa rin ang awit ng buhay ko. Nagbago man ang hugis ng puso mo. Handa na akong hamunin ang aking mundo. Pagkat tuloy pa rin. Tuloy pa rin ang awit ng buhay ko. Nagbago man ang hugis ng puso mo. Handa na akong hamunin ang aking mundo. Pagkat tuloy pa rin. Tuloy pa rin ang awit ng buhay ko. Nagbago man ang hugis ng puso mo. Handa na akong hamunin. Pagkat tuloy pa rin. Tuloy pa rin. Ang awit ng buhay ko. Nagbago man ang hugis ng puso mo.
Pilot of the airways, here is my request. You don't have to play it, but I hope you'll do your best. Show on the radio, and you seem like a friend to me.
Any record of your choice, I don't mind. I'd be happy just to hear your voice saying this is for the girl who didn't sign her name. Guess she needs a dedication just the same. Late at night, I'm still listening. Don't waste my time chasing sleep. People say I look weary, but that's just the company I keep.
Ooh, you make the nighttime race. Ooh, I don't need to see your face.
You're sounding good,
Sounding good.
sounding good to me.
Pilot of the airways, here is my request. You don't have to play it, but I hope you'll do your best. I've been listening to your show on the radio, and you seem like a friend to me.
Late at night, I'm still listening. Don't waste my time chasing sleep. People say I look weary, but that's just the company I keep.
Ooh, you make the nighttime race. Ooh, I don't need to see your face.
You're sounding good,
Sounding good.
sounding good to me. Oh, you're sounding so good to me.
Pilot of the airways, here is my request. You don't have to play it, but I hope you'll do your best. I've been listening to your show on the radio, and you seem like a friend to me.
Oh, I've been
Listening to your show on the radio, and you seem like a friend to me. Pilot of the airways, here is my request. You don't have to play it, but I hope you'll do your best. I've been listening to your show on the radio, and you seem like a friend to me.
Somewhere out there, someone saying a prayer that we'll find one another in that big somewhere out there. And even though I know how very far apart we are, it helps to think we might be wishing on the same bright star.
And when the night wind starts to sing a lonesome lullaby, it helps to think we're sleeping underneath the same big sky. If love can see us through, then we'll be together somewhere out there, out where dreams come true.
Alright, folks, 5 minutes after the hour of 9 in the morning. Anytime now, we are going to begin our regular session of Sangguniang Panlungsod in Naga. This is Naga Smiles Radio.
Helps to think we might be wishing.
And standby lang para sa satuyang Sangguniang Panlungsod session.
Lullaby. It helps to think we're sleeping underneath the same big sky. Somewhere out there, if love can see us through, then we'll be together somewhere out there, out where dreams come true.
We are here, we are proud. We want the world to come to us and be a part of our hopes, of our dreams, of our new beginning. We will make a different start. We will now open up our door, a city like you've never seen before. Come feel the vibrance, come hear us shout. Experience magic, come to the south. With one proud city, we welcome you. What you've been looking for, we have it too. With our commitment, we want you to know that we are here and we're about to show that Naga smiles to the world. 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 Naga smiles to the world.
I believe that there's so much to share and learn. And by way of this special sisterhood partnership with our cities, it will not only open doors for opportunities for exchange in governance, commerce, tourism, education, environment, livelihood, youth and sports development, culture and the arts, heritage conservation, social services, and citizens empowerment, but also foster the blending of two cultures, a heritage city and a pilgrim city.
So on behalf of the city government of Naga, thank you very much to the city government of Vigan, headed by Mayor Carlo and Vice Mayor Lourdes Bakiran, and the entire official team of the city of Vigan for this golden opportunity to be sister with the city of Naga.
Historically, we are twins whose umbilical cords can be traced to the papal bull entitled Super Specula Militantes Ecclesia, issued by Pope Clement VIII on August 14, 1595, that established the Spanish colonial cities of Nueva Cáceres and Nueva Segovia, making our respective territories the first four royal cities in the Philippines that include Manila and Cebu.
Naga City in the Bicol region has been known for its evolving unique governance paradigms and local governance programs. In fact, it has been recognized by various national and international institutions, receiving numerous awards for these achievements. The city leadership, with the people's ardent support, continues to inspire creativity, participation, and productivity. Like his predecessor, the late DILG Secretary Jesse M. Robredo, incumbent Mayor John G. Bongat continues to bring honor to the city. The latest of which, among others, is Naga's being a judge for 2 consecutive years, 2015 to 2016, as the country's overall #1 most competitive component city. Naga was likewise chosen in 2013 and 2016 as one of the top next wave cities of the Philippines. Also in 2014, the Lee Kuan Yew Institute of Public Policy of the National University of Singapore recognized Naga's ICT-driven project entitled Using ICT for Civic Engagement Towards Responsive Decision-Making as the most inspiring innovation in e-government and participatory innovations in Asia. Mayor Bongat's aggressive pro-investment platform has yielded positive results. In 2014, BLGF certified that Naga has developed a strong local revenue base from real property and business taxes because of its robust economy, controlling a 44% share in the total revenues of all 7 cities in the Bicol region, a feat that remains unparalleled to date. To cap it all, Mayor Bongat himself received in 2016 the prestigious CEO Excel Award given by the International Association of Business Communicators Philippines for its exemplary leadership in the field of public service. Mayor Bongat, with his game-changing leadership raised by a solid foundation of good governance, is expected to continue leading his beloved city to greater heights. Competitiveness and livability has been the city government's focus since Mayor Bongat assumed office in July 2010. The efforts can be summed up in our Help Your City agenda, which stands for help, health, housing and the urban poor, education, arts, culture and sports development, livelihood, employment and human development, peace and order and public safety, cleanliness and environmental protection, and transparency, accountability and good governance. Truly, Naga City has evolved into a community that is worth living, enjoyable, and sustainable. However, the most important element of Naga City is its people. So, the city government exerts extra effort in providing and sustaining programs for the various sectors. Aside from the multi-awarded Naga City People's Council, NCPC, which is the primary venue for participation in governance by the organized sectors, the city maintains development and programs for its urban poor, PWDs, senior citizen, youth, and women. These programs, offices, and organizations have become institutional expressions of the care and attention provided by the city government to every Nagueño, Nagueña. Just recently, the Manila Times has chosen Naga as one of the top 10 model livable cities in the country. Naga City, beyond being livable, is well on its way to being lovable city, inspiringly livable and adorable indeed.
Honorable Gregorio Arabunal is already around earlier, Mr. Chair. Honorable Jose Siranyola present. Honorable Elmer S. Baldimoro present. Honorable Mila S. Dirakid Arroyo present. Honorable Julian Silabadia Jr. present. Honorable Joselito S. A. Del Rosario present. Honorable Vidal P. Castillo present. Honorable Rayan Cedric Girintoy present. Honorable Salvador M. Del Castillo present. Honorable Tomas Ramon A. Sanchez Jr. present. Mr. Chairman, there is a quorum.
There being a quorum, the 53rd regular session of the 12th Sangguniang Panlungsod is now formally called to order.
Prayer. Sa ngalan ng Ama, ng Anak at ng Espiritu Santo. Amen. Mahal na Panginoon, sa pagtatalakayan namin sa kapulungang ito, bigyan niyo kami ng talino upang mapaglabanan ang simboyo ng aming damdamin. Bigyan niyo kami ng mapag-unawang puso na walang kinikilingan. Bigyan niyo kami ng malawak na pananaw upang mabatid ang anumang nakabalangkas para sa hinaharap. Bigyan niyo kami ng tatag at lakas ng loob sa pagtuklas ng katotohanan at kabutihan. Bigyan niyo kami ng kakayahan sa pananalita na maaari kaming maunawaan. At higit sa lahat, Panginoon, gawin niyo kaming karapat-dapat na lingkod bayan ng lungsod na labis naming minamahal at iginagalang, ang lungsod ng Naga, ang puso ng Bicol. Siya nawa. Sa ngalan ng Ama, ng Anak, ng Espiritu Santo. Pambansang awit.
Anyone for the privileged time? Councilor Vidal Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, my esteemed colleagues, students from the WRI, friends, good morning. I rise before this august body to relay information in a privileged time. Last Wednesday, Vice Mayor Legacion forwarded a text message from our city mayor inviting the members of this body for a scheduled meeting with the evacuees or the banquet of Marawi the next day, Thursday morning, at the GMR Coliseum. On the day of the event, the city government of Naga, led by our Mayor John Bongat, Sangguniang Panlungsod members, Councilor Baldimoro, this representation, and Liga President Bong Sanchez were present, together with some of our department heads. Welcome with open arms more than 28 families from Marawi City in Mindanao where at present their place is at war. On that day, tragic stories of these families and their cries for help were heard. The city government is in action to give assistance to them, extending medical assistance to those who are sick and educational assistance to those children who are not yet enrolled, most especially assistance on food and shelter to these backward families who are at present here in Naga City to find refuge. However, these poor families need more and they are asking for financial assistance to start a normal, peaceful life here in our maugmang lugar. Mr. Chairman and my esteemed colleagues, as we remember last end of May 30 this year, we passed Ordinance number 2017-033 entitled An Ordinance appropriating the amount of 500,000 pesos as financial assistance to the people of the besieged Marawi City, chargeable against the 2016 surplus. As I have asked and know that this assistance has not yet reached Marawi City. Therefore, with this information, Mr. Chairman, my esteemed colleagues, I would like to pass a resolution and to include it in the special business of order, a resolution allocating financial assistance amounting to 200,000 pesos to the present backward families here chargeable against the appropriated 500 pesos financial assistance to the people of the besieged Marawi City. Ang satuyang tabang sa mga taga Marawi, ihiras tanangon yan, tayaon na sinadigdi, kaipuan na nindang maray. Thank you again, Mr. Chairman, and my esteemed colleagues for this opportunity.
Thank you, Councilor Vidal Castillo. Any other privileged speech? Councilor Julian Labadia Jr.
Naga sa satuyang namamayo, Honorable Vice Mayor Nelson Ligacion, mga pag-iriba, mga bisita, liwat po Diyos Maray Naga. Nagkakapirang punto po ang gusto kong ipaabot. Primero, gusto kong ipaabot sa mismo kamong yaon liglingon yan, ang mga taga-WRI, sa kamay nagdadalan, ipaabot sa Indo na ang Sangguniang Panlungsod, headed by the Honorable Vice Mayor Nelson Ligacion, may inaapod kaming we really start on time. Iyan ang pigsasabi mi sa Indo. Gusto mi maging ehemplo kami na pag sinabi ming 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock talaga yan. Kung narisa Indo, we were here, everyone, the member of the councils, and even the Vice Mayor was here. Kaya baka nagsabi ka, oops, 9 o'clock na, baka taano. But the Vice Mayor was around. Anyway, yun lang yung gusto kong itawang impression na sa gabos na sanggunian sa buong Pilipinas, kami importante, igwa pa manggarong iba, importante sa muya ang oras. Yeah. So that is my number 1 point. Number 2, gusto talang supportaran siyempre si privilege speech ni Honorable Vidal Castillo tungkol sa Marawi. Pero siyempre sa pagsuporta, perming mapagirumdum sa tuyang mga konsyal, vice mayor, mayor, ang kinagabos na ang importanteng inutunta si mga taga-Naga na nangangaipuning tabang sa tuya. Sabi nga ni Kayan, kang nakaaging sarong taon, may nagturukaw kaming Sanggunian. Sa madaling sabi po, igwa na lang kaming 23 months starting today. Gabos kami, nag-iisip kang kamarayan kan mga taga-Naga, pakarayon ang Naga, sararo po kita dyan para gibuhon tayan. So, ang pinaka-main topic, siguro, sa kuya, ang sustainable development, kung i-imagine ta, ang Sangguniang Panlungsod, ang opisina kang alkalde naggibo na ning sarong Naga City Agricultural Roadmap. Kadakol lang kita mga plano in the next days to come. Pero ang nahihiling ko pong importante, ini yung Bukid Isarog. Ini pong Bukid Isarog, iyo ang nagtataong buhay sa tuya. Lalong-lalo na sa pang-aroal daw tang pag-inom, pagkakan. Pero ini po ang nagtatao sa tuya ning malinig na tubig. So, ang sa kuya pong punto, iyo ang pagsibutan ta, natarabangan ta na mapakarayta ang Bukid Isarog. Ang Bukid Isarog po, igwang 7 munisipyo, 6 na munisipyo sa rong syudad ang nakakasakop dyan. Ang Naga, Pili, Tigawon, Gowa, ini yung Tinambak sa Kalabanga. So, igwa pong 7 LGUs and 23 barangays. So, in the next days to come, sisibutan ta po yan, hahagadon ta ang tabang kagabos na sektor na mas lalo tang padangaton ang Bukid Isarog. Diyos mabalos po. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Julian Labadia Jr. We acknowledge the presence of Councilor Greg Abonal, Councilor Elmer Baldemoro. Before the privileged speech of Councilor Elmer Baldemoro, allow me to express my apology. We were not able to start on time at 9 o'clock. We already started at 9:20. Although I was already in my office at about as early as 8 o'clock in the morning, I wasn't able to leave the matter I was attending to. My apologies, Councilor Julian Labadia Jr. Yes, the apology that I express is addressed to all. And I do hope that this first time that this happened in my case will not be taken against me. I understand that the other members of this body is also incurring some tardiness in coming, and I did not call your attention to it because I know that there are matters that really we cannot just leave, and we perfectly understand that. Okay. I also express my apology to the students of WRI, headed by Miss Viviline Mira, whose presence are duly acknowledged. Okay. You may proceed, Councilor Baldemoro.
Maraming salamat, Ginoong Pangulo ng Hapag. Sa aking mga ginagalang na kasangguni, mga mag-aaral ng WRI sa pangunguna ng kanilang guro, Binibining Viviline Mira, mga panauhin at mga mamamahayag na ngayon nandirito sa bulwagan ng Sangguniang Panlungsod, mga minamahal kong kababayan, mga binibinit Maginoo, maluwalhating umaga sa ating lahat. Sa buwan pong ito, ang buwan ng Agosto, ay muling ginugunita ang taunang pagdiriwang ng buwan ng wikang pambansa. Ito ay alinsunod sa itinakdang pampanguluhang proklamasyon bilang 1,041, serye 1,097, na pinag-utos ng ating dating mahal na Pangulong Fidel Valdez Ramos, at hindi nahilingid sa atin na iniatas ng nasabing proklamasyon ang Agosto bilang buwan ng wika upang bigyang pugay ang dating Pangulong Manuel Luis Quezon, ang itinuturing na ama ng wikang pambansa. Pangunahing layunin ng pagdiriwang ay ang maitaas ang kamalayang pangwika at sibiko at maganyak ang mga mamamayang Pilipino na pahalagahan ang wikang pambansa sa pamamagitan ng aktibong pakikilahok sa mga gawain kaugnay ng buwan ng wika. Ang buwan ng wika ay isa sa mga inaantabayanang kaganapan sa lahat ng institusyon sa bansa, lalong-lalo na sa mga paaralan, mapa-elementarya, sekundarya at maging sa kolehiyo kada taon. Ayon sa Komisyon ng Wikang Pilipino, ang tema ng pagdiriwang ngayong taon ay Pilipino Wikang Mapagbago. Ang pagdiriwang ng buwan ng wika ay kinakatampukan ng iba't ibang patimpalak gaya ng sabayang pagbigkas, paglikha ng musika, pagsulat ng sanaysay, pagtatalampati at iba pa. Sa ating ginagawang sesyon sa Sangguniang, naway magamit din natin ang wikang Pilipino dahil may tungkulin tayong maihatid sa ating mga kababayan ang tunay at buong konteksto ng ating mga tinatalakay, diskurso at disposisyon. Ang wika ay isang mahalagang aspeto ng bawat kultura. Ito ang basihan na ginagamit ng lahat ng antas ng tao sa lipunang ginagalawan. Ito ang bumubuklod sa mamamayang Pilipino sa Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. Simulat sa pool, ang Pilipino bilang isang katutubong wikang panlahat ay mahalagang kasangkapan sa komunikasyon, unawaan, kaisahan at kaunlaran ng bansa. At ang temang Pilipino Wikang Mapagbago ay naaakma hindi lamang dahil ito ay kumakatawan patungo sa kasalukuyang administrasyon. Ito ay dahil na rin sa katotohanan ang wikang Pilipino, katulad ng ibang wika, ay dinamiko o patuloy na yumayabong dahil na rin sa mga lahad na pagbabago sa ating lipunan. At higit sa lahat, ating pakakatandaan na hindi lahat ng intelihenteng talakayan ay sa pamamagitan lamang ng wikang Ingles. Sa puntong ito ay nais kong bigyan diin ang palagian kong suhestyon. Una, hinihikayat ko ang aking mga kasangguni ng paggamit ng wikang Pilipino sa takbo ng ating mga usapan. Ikalawa, isalin natin sa wikang Pilipino ang anumang malalim na pahayag o salita, lalo na kung tayo'y pinakikinggan ng karaniwang mamamayan. At ikatlo, gamitin natin ang wikang Pilipino sa mga pagpupulong ng komite at kahit sa paggawa ng mga ulat komite kahit ngayong buwan ng Agosto lamang. Ang wika ay hindi lamang tungkol sa salita o balarila o sa wastong pagbaybay nito, at hindi rin lamang tungkol sa tamang pagbuo ng pangungusap o paggamit ng makabuluhang diskurso. Dapat nating maunawaan na ang sariling wika ay pagkakakilanlan natin na dapat nating kilalanin, alamin at tuklasin. Dahil ang bisa ng kapangyarihan ng wika tungo sa pagtatamo ng tunay na pagbabago ay nakasalalay sa pagpapahalaga at pagtatangkilik ng sambayanang nag-iisip. Kung makikilala natin ang sarili, mahanap natin ang tunay na daang dapat nating tahakin at matatamo ang inaasam na pagbabago. Maraming salamat, naway mamutawi sa ating mga puso ang pagiging tunay na mamamayan ng bansang Pilipinas. Maligayang buwan ng wika at mabuhay ang bansang labis nating minamahal.
Thank you, Councilor Elmer Baldimoro. We proceed to the next item.
Reading and approval of the order of business.
Again, Councilor Baldimoro.
Maraming salamat. Mr. Chairman, may I move to dispense the reading of the order of business. Thank you, Mr. Chair. The inclusion, makadagdagan po sa ating talakayan ngayong araw. First, item number 5A is the proposed resolution authorizing His Honor, the City Mayor, for in behalf of the City of Naga, to enter into a sisterhood agreement with the City Government of San Fernando, La Union. Item number 8 is the letter from the City Engineer and Building Official pertaining to the demolition of residential house of Mr. Jose Buid. Item number 9 is the letter from the City Planning and Development Coordinator regarding the proposed Villa El Nido subdivision. Item number 10 is the letter dated March 21, 2017 from then City Director Julius Muñez regarding the establishment of police outpost at JMR Coliseum. Item number 11 is the letter from the Acting City Director Jonathan Panganiban regarding the operation of the EB Wealth e-trike. Item number 12 is the letter from Mylene Cardona regarding the Trimobile franchise. Also, Mr. Chair, item number 13, letter from Eduardo Santa Rosa pertaining to the Trimobile franchise, as well as item number 14, letter from Joanna Lynn Culambo, also for Trimobile franchise. Item number 15 is a letter from the Chief of Office of ESO submitting the list of trainers and coaches with corresponding honoraria. And item number 16 is the matter pending under the Committee on City Properties pertaining to the use of space at JMR Coliseum. Item number 8 is the proposed ordinance of the Honorable Mila Rakid Arroyo.
That is under new business.
New business, Mr. Chair. Item number 8 is a proposed ordinance strengthening the kaantabay sa kauswagan program of the City Government of Naga. And Mr. Chair, a letter from Micaela A. San Ramon requesting for financial assistance with a mark from the City Mayor as certified urgent as item number 1 of the special business or order. And also, Mr. Chair, item number 2 of the SBO is the matter of the privileged speech of the Honorable Vidal Castillo. I so move for its approval, Mr. Chair.
Councilor Greg Abonal.
Mr. Chair, I wasn't able to follow the identifications, but apparently there is, what is this, unfinished business 8, yung CEO demolition. Are all these under unfinished business or new business?
Councilor Baldemoro.
What item, Mr. Chair?
Yung CEO, city engineers letter regarding demolition, city planning regarding Villa something subdivision, yung kay JMR outpost. Are all these new business or?
Yes, Mr. Chair. The letter of the city engineer is in response to the letter of our acting secretary.
So that is under unfinished business.
Also, the letter from the CPDO. I understand that this matter is pending under the Committee on Land Use, the establishment of Villa El Nido subdivision.
How about yung mga e-trike and trimobile items? Are these?
Those are under unfinished business.
That goes all the way to item number 15, 16, or 17?
That's correct.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
All of them unfinished?
But we are not saying that we will be discussing them.
Yeah, but they are all classified.
Unfinished business.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So with that clarification, do I hear a second to the motion to approve? In which case, our order of business as modified is now approved. Next item.
Order of business, reading and approval of the minutes of the previous session, minutes of the 32nd regular session held on February 28, 27.
Again, Councilor Baldimoro.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. May I move to dispense the reading of the minutes of the 32nd regular session of the 12th Sangguniang Panlungsod held on February 28, 2017. And move for its approval.
Any second? The minutes of the 32nd regular session is now approved. Next item.
Special business or order, the letter dated July 27, 2017 from Ms. Micaela San Ramon, certified urgent by the City Mayor, seeking financial assistance. In his representation to the Philippines, representing the Philippines to the Second International Intervention Innovation Competitive in Canada.
Anyone from the Committee on Appropriations? Councilor Greg Abonal, and then after you, Councilor Del Castillo.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, I cannot comment. I have not even read the greetings.
Councilor Del Castillo?
I move, Mr. Chair, that matter be referred to the Committee on Appropriations. What's the urgency of the matter, Mr. Chair, in the first place?
There is no explanation why it was considered urgent.
So I move that it be referred to the committee, Mr. Chair.
I think the notation as to urgency is related to the last paragraph. The request that the assistance be received on or before August 4, 2017. Councilor Del Castillo.
So it's not our fault, Mr. Chair, because it was only forwarded to us yesterday.
Okay, so there is a motion to refer this to the Committee on Appropriations. Do I hear a second?
To the committee.
Is there an objection? There being none, this matter is referred to the Committee on Appropriations. Next item.
The subject matter of the privileged speech of the Honorable Vidal P. Castillo.
Councilor Vidal Castillo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, last May 30, we passed an ordinance number 2017-033 entitled an ordinance appropriating the amount of 500,000 pesos as financial assistance to the people of the Besieged Marawi City, charitable against the 2016 surplus, Mr. Chairman. However, Mr. Chairman, after 2 months, this 500,000 pesos was not yet sent to the Marawi. Hanggang po niya ang paini sa tuya. Because, Mr. Chairman, last Thursday, we conducted a meeting with the Bakwit in the GMR Coliseum. Sa tuya pong nadangog ang sa indang mga inagrangay, ang sa indang paghibi sa nangyari sa inda duman sa Marawi City. Nyarang po si mga pagiriba duman, asin po ang gobyerno kan syudad ning Naga. Nag-extender tulos ning tabang dahil po itong mga bakwit, ang iba po niya sa hospital, nasa BMC, kaya sa tuya ang sa tuyang gobyerno tig-asikaso ito, asin po duman sa mga aki na hanggang ngayon di pa naka-enroll, kaya niya po duman si Mr. Soron. Alagad, Mr. Chairman, kahit itong hinahapot mi na kung ano talaga ang may tatabang nyato sa inda, sa inda po magsasarumbulan ng pagdigdi, pag-istal sa siyudad ng Naga, gusto naman po ninda na magkaiwa ng hanap buhay. Ako naghapot kong igwa ng karpintero, pintor o kaya mason. Ang senda po na pong hanap buhay, iyo ang magtinda. Magtinda ang sendang aram, kaya po nangay po sindaning dikit na financial assistance. Considering, Mr. Chairman, na ang kwarta, itong 500,000 yaon pa, siguro po kinakaya po ng siguro na itawda na direkta duman sa mga taong taga Marawi na yaon sa tuya digdi sa siyudad ng Naga. With this content, Mr. Chairman, I would like to pass a resolution allocating financial assistance amounting to 200,000 pesos to the present Bakwit families here, chargeable against the appropriated 500,000 pesos financial assistance to the people of the Basids of Marawi City. So I move, Mr. Chairman.
Councilor Del Castillo.
I'm not objecting, Mr. Chair, but I just want to know what would be the process of for the granting of the financial assistance. What would be the mode? And what will be the basis for us to know that the grant is really came from Marawi?
Councilor Vidal Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, this Bakwit, I think my 28 families were identified by the Muslim leaders in our Muslim community at Concepcion Pequeña, together with the barangay captain po ng barangay where the Bakwit are residing at present, Mr. Chairman. And on the same day in the afternoon, yan po kami duman sa Metro Peso, pinag-adalan na maray kung saan gagamiton ang itatabang tang financial assistance. Considering na ikaw yung mga proseso, alagad kayo po ng maray ang tabang, ito po sinaisip ka. Ang haputan nito, Mr. Chairman, nag-approve kita ang 500,000, ano tagay pa na ipapadara duman? Hanggang ngunyan niya umpa. Madali kita mag-approve, pero itong proseso, halo yun. Ngunyan po, duman sa Metro Peso, ang Metro Peso po, inapudanhan o kasog mga hapon. Kung ano ang makigibog na tanganing makakuha ng pagtabang. Kaya ito po, Mr. Chairman, ang naisip ko. Naiguan na kitang approve ng 500,000 na agad. Ang 500,000 hanggang ngunyan niya umpa. Na dapat itao ka na ni, tanangay po ng tabang. So, Mr. Chairman, I move.
Councilor Del Rosario.
Good morning po. Medyo high pitch naman ang sakuyang seatmate. Tama po itong sinabi ni Councilor Buddy na dapat masiguro ta si mga identity kang mga evacuees, mga Bakwit. Kasi baka po si mga tugang tamalang yan haling Kalabanga, haling Ragay o San Fernando, tamayo man kitang paagi na ma-establish si mga identity. Suportado ko po si proposal ni Councilor Vidal, and yet I also understand si agam-agam ni Councilor Badong. Number one po dyan, dapat ma-establish talaga kan si Metro Peso and si Police kung talagang mga hali to duman sa Marawi. Madali lang magsabi po, Mrs. Chair, na hali kami sa Marawi. Tabaka hali sa naman yan, sa mga kataraid na araman na natao kita, baka lugod magdumog. Kaya dapat po si screening process ta masiguro. Thank you.
Okay. Should we include that in the proposed resolution? The screening process that the Honorable Del Rosario was saying to ensure that the beneficiaries are really those coming from Marawi City? Okay. Councilor Vidal Castillo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I support, Mr. Chairman, the position of Honorable Del Rosario. Tama po ito, Mr. Chairman, na masiguro itong tatawan. This representation, Mr. Chairman, bako po ako matao. Ang matao po ang Metro Peso. Si Mr. Oliver. Ang sa tuya lang po, sinda nagkakatin tabang na mapadali sa pagkuhaning pantabang na pinansyal. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm sure, Mr. Chairman, because of the identity, because of they were identified by the Muslim leaders in our Muslim community at Concepcion. Asin po yan po si mga kapitan, napigsabi nila na initlagahali, mga Bakwit talaga. Asin po kung you were present last Thursday, pagnanog po niya to si mga hibi, si mga hinagpis ka itong mga nagtataramduman, siguro po Dahil na po kamo maduwa-duwa na talaga po itong mga halit talaga duman sa Marawi. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Thank you, Councilor Vidal Castillo. Councilor Elmer Baldimoro.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chairman. Although po, I support the suggestion of the Honorable Del Rosario, ngunit matatandaan natin, Mr. Chairman, na kahit yung ang DepEd, di na sila nagre-require ng any documentary requirements sa mga papasok sa eskwelahan galing sa Marawi. So, mahirap po tayong humingi ng pagkakakilanlan sa mga galing sa Marawi dahil sila'y biglaang umalis doon sa kanilang lugar na walang dala ng mga gamit, lalo na yung mga kanilang documentary requirements. Gaya po ng nabanggit ko, Mr. Chairman, even the DepEd didn't require them to submit a documentary requirements. Pag sinabing haling Marawi, automatic po ina-accept agad sa isang paaralan. So, mahirap po na ma-determine kung talagang i-insure natin, isinisiguro na galing talaga sila sa Marawi. Siguro ang makakapagpatunay na lang yung pinuno ng Muslim kung talagang galing talaga sila sa Marawi. And ako po'y sumusuporta sa panukala ni Honorable Vidal Castillo, gaya po ng kasabihan na sa halip na bigyan natin ng isda ay tulungan natin silang mangisda. So we will give them financial assistance para po sila makapagsimula ng buhay dito sa lungsod ng Naga, na gaya ng sabi ng ating butihing alkalde na they are welcome to the city of Naga and they could reside here forever. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair.
Councilor Del Rosario, follow up.
Another point, Mr. Chair, yung natitira pong 300,000, sana po madala ka agad doon sa Marawi. Ang LGU po ng Marawi ngayon ay naka-house sa Iligan City. Yung mayor po at mga councilors nandun po sa Iligan para po at least makadagdag pa rin dito sa tulong sa kanila.
In fact, in that regard, Councilor Del Rosario, I already relayed the necessary information, contact persons, contact details to our city budget officer. But I do not know what happened, why up to now the amount has not yet been turned over either to Marawi City or to Iligan, where most of the buckwheats can be located. So, Councilor Julian Labadilla Jr., Councilor Akid Arroyo, and Councilor Greg Abonan.
Marami pong salamat sa ating namumuno. Bago po ko talakayin ang aking pinakapakay, ipahintulot po nyo humingi ng paumanhin sa ating namumuno, the Vice Mayor Nelson Ligacion. Wala po akong kaisipan na saktan ng iyong damdamin. Actually, Mr. Chairman, I'll go direct to the point.
You need not apologize. It's me who has to apologize.
Pero
for my tardiness for starting late our session.
Okay, Mr. Chairman. Yung pagsuporta po sa resolusyon na ipapasa ni Councilor Vidal del Castillo, nagtutubod ako po na tama lang na ipasa natin yon. Pero naniniwala din ako kay Councilor Badi and Councilor Lito na kailangan meron tayong pinanghahawakan. Kasi kahit hindi lang 200 ang ibigay natin doon, basta meron sistema kung paano sila matutulungan, ay kahit ibigay na natin yung 500. Kasi kung 28 families siya, sa amount na 200, mahirap din talaga kung paano gagawin nila para umasenso yung tao. Pero kung malalaman natin na 28 families talagang galing doon nandyan yung mga datas, lahat. Ang 500,000, malay natin after 6 months, after a year or 2, asinsado na sila, Mr. Chairman. Salamat.
Councilor Rakid Arroyo.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Maraming salamat din po, Tagapangulo. Ako po ayon sa panukala ni Vidal Castillo. Subalit sa tingin ko, ang marapat na paraan ay amyendahan yung ordinansang ipinasa natin na naglalaan ng 50,000 piso para sa pagtulong sa mga biktima sa Marawi. So, sa tingin ko po, hindi sapat ang resolusyon. Kailangan ay amendatory ordinance na nagbabago doon sa ating unang ipinasa. Sa tingin ko, wala namang problema, Mr. Chair, sa pinag-uusapan natin tungkol sa pagsiguraddong yung mga tatanggap nga ng tulong na ito ay yung mga talagang nilalayo natin makatanggap nito. Sa tingin ko, usaping implementasyon na ang pagsisiguro na yung mga makakatanggap na ay sila ang dapat makatanggap. Sa tingin ko, maaari na natin ipasa ngayon kung ano man ang halagang ating tinitingnan na makakasapat sa ngayon at kung ano yung ating kakayahan. So, at sa tingin ko, walang usaping hindi mariresolba, hindi masusolusyonan patungkol sa mga puntos na iniharap na ni Konsehal Suradia, Konsehal Del Rosario, at Konsehal Del Pacifico. Maraming salamat.
We will go back to your proposal to amend our ordinance, but we will hear first Councilor Greg Abonal.
Yeah, at this point, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to say that we cannot just allocate 200 from the 500 that we passed as an ordinance. As earlier mentioned, the form may have to be that we pass an ordinance amending the original. However, Mr. Chairman, since we do not have a copy of the original ordinance,
it's already flashed before our screen.
Okay, the amount of 500...
Please check if there is really a need to amend the ordinance.
It doesn't say that the money goes to Marawi. It says that it's assistance to the people of the besieged Marawi.
That's correct.
In other words, those people of the besieged Marawi may be in Iligan, they may be in Marawi, they may be
That's
in
also correct.
They are in and therefore, any amount that we take to give to identify deceased people of Marawi need no more amendment, Mr. Chair.
That's
okay. Second, Mr. Chairman, I think that our Metro
So let us be clarified on the matter of amending this ordinance. According to Councilor Greg Abonal, there is no need. The ordinance being stated in general terms. Okay? So we don't have to amend this ordinance. We only have to pass a resolution if we're going to take away so much amount from the 500,000 for purposes of, say, helping the 28 families who are now here in Naga City.
Yes.
So what we need is a resolution, not an amendatory ordinance. Will the Honorable Rakid Arroyo agree?
Bilang tagapangulo, nung ako po ay naghatag ng panukalang yun, hindi ko po nakikita ang ordinansang ito. So ngayong nakita ko, hindi na talaga kailangan kami andahan ito.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, this is just two items. Our Metro Peso is experienced in identifying what sort of assistance may be given and whether we are giving them on a sure-to-sure basis. Okay, I think that they can do it even as early as this afternoon. Yung identification is something that has been mentioned. I suggest that we direct them to make sure that the identity is indeed established. And last, Mr. Chairman, ito na po yata yung what I would call a blessing in disguise. this is dated May 30, alagad, Mr. Chairman, dahil tulos nga ipadara sa kwarta. Iyan so this guys, sa kung na ipadarata yan, mahanap-hanap naman kita na yung pagkukuhan.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Greg Abonal. The Honorable Del Castillo, and then after this, can we go back to the original motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's why previously, Mr. Chair, this representation is asking what's the mode? Ano bang assistance ang kailangan natin ibigay? Is it a livelihood assistance, a financial assistance, or what? I believe that should be specified, Mr. Chair. Since I propose na if we will give them livelihood assistance, it is subject to repayment because they are in the first place evacuees of Marawi.
Okay. Thank you, Councilor Del Castillo, for asking that.
But there should be also a condition, Mr. Chair, na hindi sila magtitinda ng mga pirated CDs and DVDs. That should be clear. Kasi bawal yun sa batas.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Del Castillo. If I am correct, earlier, based on the privileged speech of Councilor Vidal Castillo, although he did not categorically stated it, apparently he was referring to livelihood assistance. Will the Honorable Vidal Castillo confirm that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, that's correct. During the briefing, Mr. Chairman, garawan po ni loan assistance na garawan mga tao sa kada pamilya ng 3,000 to 5,000. Payable ito every 3 months. Dapat igwasindang ibabayad. Kung magyan ng sendang record, pwede pa sindang maka-loan.
Okay. Okay, so we go back to the motion. We will be passing a resolution authorizing the release of 200,000 in favor of the 28 families from Marawi City who are now in Naga for purposes of helping them start a new life in the form of livelihood assistance. Do I hear a second? Without objection, the same is now considered approved. Next item.
Unfinished business, letter dated July 26, 2017, the Mr. Eric Mir, President, Miracle Energy Technology Corporation, appealing that they be given another opportunity to present their proposal in today's regular session.
Any representative from Miracle Energy Technology Corporation? There being none, can we instruct the Secretary to inform Mr. Eric Mir, President of the subject corporation, that his letter was calendared in today's session, but that nobody appeared for and in behalf of the said corporation. For the meantime, yes, Councilor Akid Arroyo.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, but I'm still in the previous item. Can we include, to respond to the concerns raised earlier, can we include in that resolution a directive to the City Social Welfare and Development Office to ascertain the identities of these families to ensure that they are indeed former residents of Marawi City?
We will include that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Councilor Greg Abonal.
Mr. Chairman, I trust that the assistance given to the Marawi evacuees, Mr. Chairman, though limited to livelihood, yung 200,000 is earmarked for livelihood. But I hope that the DSWD, our Social Welfare Office, will still grant assistance chargeable to the social welfare budget.
In fact, initial assistance, I understand, was already given.
Yes, we hope that that one continues because habang nagpupundar ng livelihood project or whatever, I'm sure that they have their family needs. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Greg Abonal. In fact, there are also private groups who have taken the initiative of helping the 28 families, and they are coordinating with the CSWD. Okay, so going back to item number 1 of the unfinished business, do we have to refer this to the Committee on Environment and Energy, just in case subsequent letter is sent to us showing further interest in making necessary presentation? We will have to refer this to the Committee on Environment. Councilor Del Rosario?
Yung po dyan sa second paragraph nila, Mrs. Chair, na they're requesting that they be given another opportunity in today's session, August 1. Ngunyan kung dahil po na sinda na imbitaran talaga, dahil man sinda maabot. Ngunyan na August 1. Stated in the second paragraph. They're requesting that they be given opportunity today, August 1, August 2017. I don't think the Secretariat was able to request them to be present. So, mas maray po na i-calendar tigararin ni, or ibaba sa committee, or i-calendar tigararin next week, and imbitaran sila formally.
So, which one? We refer this to the committee, or we set this for presentation during the next regular session? Committee? So this item is referred to the Committee on Environment. Next item.
Letter dated July 26, 2017 from the city engineer and building official submitting his comments and recommendation with respect to the failure of his office to prevent construction of illegal structures within the city.
Any comment on this? Councilor Greg Abonal, Councilor Rakid Arroyo, Councilor Del Rosario.
Mr. Chair, the items mentioned there will need further study. I suggest that the matter be referred to the Infra Committee, Mr. Chair.
Councilor Rakid Arroyo.
This matter, Mr. Chair, was upon recommendation of the Committee on Housing and Settlements and also Committee on Land Use, because of the comment coming from the representative of the Department of Public Works and Highways that we truly have been unable to prevent the proliferation of illegal structures in the city. As shown in the letter, Mr. Chair, the city engineer said that since 1998 they have been undermanned or understaffed. That's why they are actually not able to perform that function. One unit actually doubles for the functions of 3 other units. May we request, Mr. Chair, an explanation from the Human Resources and Management Office why the concern of the office has not been responded to. Kung ma-continue kaya, Mr. Chair, na arog kayo ni Pirming arog kayo yan. No? If you will not really respond to the need of the city engineers to have the capability to really implement our ordinances, talagang maparapadagos ang mga illegal structures in the city. So I think it's about time that we really respond to this concern. And I am hoping, Mr. Chair, that the financial requirement to respond to the concern of the city engineers will be responded to in the 2018 budget of the city government. So may I move, Mr. Chair, that we direct the HRMO to recommend on how the question or the concern raised by the city engineer's office may be responded to, and why it has not been responded to.
Any second on the motion? The same is approved?
Within 5 days from receipt, Mr.
Within 5 days. Councilor Del Rosario and then Councilor Labadia Jr.
Mr. Chair, interested akong maray kung baka available ba lang si Engineer Palmiano sa office niya, baka pwede tang i-request during may mga concerns po ako sa parking kang ibang darakulang establishments, Mr. In relation to that, to those items also.
Okay. In which case, the Secretary is instructed to invite Engineer Leon Palmiano IV For the meantime, after the comment of Councilor Labadia Jr., we will have to temporarily defer this. Councilor Labadia Jr.
Mr. Chairman, sa issue po kang building permit sa mga illegal construction, igo po kitang ordinansa sa syudad na tinatawan diretso ang punong barangay sa kada barangay na pag-igwang illegally constructed building, pwede nindang papunduhon, pwede nindang dakupon si mga nagtatrabaho, pwede nindang padakop pati si may sadiri, pati ang foreman. So, dati po akong punong barangay, and dahil sa pag-ibo ko po kayan, nakasuhan ako. Ang pupunto ko, Mr. Chairman, baka pwedeng ang gibuhon ta, magtabang ang Liga ng mga Barangay, magtabang ang City Engineer's Office, kung paano ta masisiguro ang issue tungkol digdiyo sa illegal construction. Sa nahihiling ko, Mr. Chairman, na suggestion, inibagang pigpaparagibo ni Mr. Allen Reondanga kang Sepio. Magibo po kita ning kada barangay na iimapata na. So, kung kita ning non-contact apprehension sa mga motorista, pwede naman sigurong sabihon ngaya poon ngayang 2017 August, kinuanan mi ngaya ang barangay Tabuco. So, mahihiling siya kung ano ang sitwasyon niya. Once magkaigwa ng sitwasyon, natapos si pag-survey niya, itataw sa City Engineer's Office. Gabos ng mga illegally constructed na mayong permit sa inda, that's the time na pwede pa sigurong sitahon, Mr. Chairman. Maybe we can do it siguro. Proposal na ini, Mr. Chairman, dapat tukawan ini, Mr. Chairman, kang siyem pwede mag-gibo ng ordinansa para sa isyong ini, Mr. Chairman. Salamat.
Thank you, Councilor Labadia Jr. For the meantime, we defer further discussion and proceed to the next.
The letter dated July 25, 2017 of Mr. Ronnie Amoroso, homeowner, board of director, auditor of St. James Homes Homeowners Association, requesting a copy of the alleged CGDI unilateral deed of donation for reference.
This is a mere administrative matter that can be acted upon by the concerned officers. We will, including the secretary. Okay. Noted. Next item.
The report of the Committee on Senior Citizens, including in the report the proposed ordinance of Honorable Councilors Abunal, Ranyola, Del Castillo, appropriating 50,000 pesos for each Filipino resident of Naga who has reached 100 years old or more.
Councilor Greg Abunal.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Kindly acknowledge the report of the Senior Citizens Committee on Senior Citizens in its meeting of July 26.
Your report is duly acknowledged.
There was only one item, Mr. Chairman, and that is the proposed ordinance titled an ordinance appropriating 50,000 pesos for each Filipino resident of Naga City who has reached 100 years old or older. May I proceed to the disposition?
Yes, please.
Mr. Chairman, on joint and collect, incidentally, wait. There was no quorum, Mr. Chairman, and therefore we're recommending that the Sangguniang be constituted as a committee of the whole.
Any second? So, So the Sangguniang Panlungsod is now constituted as a committee of the whole. Councilor Labadia Jr.
May ano lang ko, Mr. Chairman, kahaputan, dahil 50, permi kong nakuko ang ano ba yan? Argumento kay Councilor Abunal. Why not ngaya 20, why not 100, why 50?
The original, if I may.
Yes, please.
The law prescribes 100,000 from the national government. The law indicates that the local government does not have to, but the local government can give its own cash incentive ang tawag nila. I asked around the what figure could be given. The figure 50 came up. It could have been 51, it could have been 49, but that figure is arbitrary. I checked with the budget office. Pwede naman ngayon, sir. I am informed that other cities, other places may have set up. I think Legazpi gives 30 and another gives 20. Yeah. Naga City, we're saying we can afford to give 50 to the centenarian.
Councilor Labadia.
Can we make it, Mr. Chairman, 99,000 para lang tayo maglangkaw duman sa national?
At this point, Mr. Chairman, the group hit for 50. We did not hit for any other figure, and therefore, if I may proceed to the disposition, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, please.
And joint and collective motion of the members present, the committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod as a committee of the whole to pass the ordinance granting 50,000 pesos for each Filipino resident of Naga City who has reached centenarian age of 100. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Any second? Okay, before the final approval, Councilor Rakid Arroyo.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Magayon po ining ordinance na proposed kansatong pag-iriba as presented in the draft ordinance. Ang question ko lang po, duman sa proof of 100-year-old age. Siyempre, ang proof po kaya would be the birth certificate. Paano po si Mayong birth certificate? Kasi po usually, lalo na itong mga sa kinapobrehan, mayo po sindang si registration kong birth records ninda in the past, bako kung pakaray. Maray po si mga professionals na talagang iko talaga yan mga birth certificates. Pero ito po mga kinapobrehan. So how would they prove the age in case of absence of birth certificate?
Councilor Greg?
We did not specify, but the law, the Republic Act, does in fact line up other substitutes for a birth certificate. If I may just.
In other words, in the law and in the implementing rules and regulations, there are already parameters, guidelines in determining that indeed the prospective recipient is 100 years old at the time that Republic Act number 10868 became effective, and that was on July 15, 2016. Councilor Del Rosario.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May query lang po kay Councilor Abunal. Dipisilo po ang pag-aabot sa edad na 100. Medyo muna po kaya baga ang mga tao mahilig na lang sa chicken joy, sa ano ni. Kaya medyo ang lifespan medyo ano na lang. Masakit pong maray pag-aabot sa 100. So siguro mas pwede man po garo kung mayo man po dyan yung cap na magsabing 50,000 lang, pwede tamang garong i-match itong tinatawag ng national government, another 100,000. Kasi po pang ano man ini, pang tangarig ang tao mo niyan, at least may incentive kita na dahil na kita para karakan ng chicken joy, dahil para gamit ng gadget, Ang mga estudyante ko niyan, Mr. Chair, halos nauubos na lang, ay, pasensya na si mga estudyante nauubos na lang oras sa dahil na nagbabarasan ng libro, puro na lang bira nagbabasa ng libro, kaya kulang ng exercise. Kaya at least ini po, kung matao kita ng another 100,000, additional naman sa national government, incentive ini na mag-exercise kita, mag-change kita kan lifestyle ta. Pero ako, Mr. Chair, personally, dahil na po ako nangangarap na sa stress na ganyan sa buhay, okay na po.
Councilor Jose Ranyola.
Well, I just that chicken joy will lower the age of the people, no? I think it would be hamburger, not chicken.
Councilor Baldemoro, and then
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Matanong ko lang, Mr. Chair, kung meron po ba tayong datos kung ilan na ang posibleng umabot for the next, halimbawa po, sa darating na 3 taon, ilan na po ba ang pwedeng makatanggap ng ganitong insentibo? Meron po ba tayong datos niya?
That is difficult to tell, especially that we do not hold, we cannot say who will reach the age of 100. But right now, aside from Mr. Francisco del Castillo, there are still 2 others whose application for this benefit are being processed, being evaluated by the Department of Social Welfare, DSWD. One is from Dayangdang, the other one is from Calawag. Okay, Councilor Del Castillo, Councilor Labadia, and then we go back to Councilor Greg.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, during the committee hearing, Mr. Chairman, we were told by Ms. Barga that meron pong dalawang taga-Naga na meron ng 100 taong ang gulang. 100 taong gulang. So, as of now, there are 2 possible recipients of this ordinance, if ever this will be passed by Congress.
Okay. Okay. Councilor Labadia.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, since the chairman of the Committee on Senior Citizens has requested that this be converted into the committee as a whole, I would like to support the proposal of the Honorable Del Rosario. Instead of 99,000, we go to 100,000, Mr. Chairman.
Councilor Greg Abonal.
I would be careful. I'd like to check with Budget Office whether or not we can afford that.
Can we go back to the matter that we were discussing before you were interrupted, and when you were saying that you have to refer to the to Republic Act number 10868 and its implementing rules and regulation.
Yeah.
We were talking about proof, evidences, pieces of evidence that would prove the age of the recipient.
Yeah, if I may, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, please.
I am reading from a copy, I hope true copy, of the implementing rules for Republic Act number 10868. And under Rule 6, documentary requirements, Article 6, centenarian shall present her birth certificate or Philippine passport to prove his entitlement for the awards and incentives under Centenarian Act of 2016. In the absence of either of the 2 documents, any one of the following primary IDs may also be accepted. A. Senior Citizens Identification Card issued by the Office of Senior Citizens Affairs. B. Other Philippine government issued identification cards such as the Land Transportation, LTO, GSIS, SSS, PRC, Philippine Postal ID, Commission on Election, etc., showing Filipino citizenship and year of birth as reference point for the centenarian's eligibility. Under documentary requirements, Mr. Chairman, we did not enumerate anymore, but please, we simply said government issued he or she shall present to any government issued identification card or document that establishes these things, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, other than that, Mr. Chairman, there is in fact another section. Any two of the following secondary documents, secondary na po ito, may also be accepted. Marriage certificate daw, birth certificate of children, hindi man kailangan na siya mismo, but anything that would in fact show affidavits executed by at least two uninterested, these are normal things, or old school or employment records, baptismal certification, etc., etc. In other words, we're not limited to the birth certificate. There are other forms.
Okay.
If we may just go back, Mr. Chairman, there is a proposal to make 500,000, 50,000, 100,000. Can we settle that issue, the amount of grant? I'm just in the position now. We have to check with our financial figures.
Okay. Councilor Baldimoro and then Councilor Akid Arroyo.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Kung sa pangamba po ni Councilor Abunal na walang pagkukuhanan ng pondo, sa tingin ko po meron dahil ang senior citizen ay may alokasyon na 1% of the annual budget ng ating lungsod. Sa ngayon po, meron tayong 1 billion. So, ang 1% niyan is 10 million for the, although it is mainstream, pero sa tingin ko po, may pwedeng pagkuhanan. Dahil kung ang bilang natin ngayon ay 2 o 3 sa mga susunod na taon, ay marami, sa tingin ko po ay sapat yung pondo na pwedeng pagkukuhanan. So, pumapangalawa po ako sa panukala ni Councilor Del Rosario na gawin na ito na sa halip na 50,000, gawin itong 100,000, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilor Baldimoro. Councilor Akid Arroyo, we would like to settle the amount.
Still on the concern I raised, Mr. Chair, because it wasn't settled yet. May I therefore suggest, Mr. Chair, that if reference is made to those provisions of RA 10868, then the same must be specifically stated to guide implementation. So either we quote those documents enumerated, or we just mention that in the passing upon the qualifications, the qualifications stated under RA 868 will be considered. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I would prefer, therefore, to simply cite reference rather than enumerate them again.
Yes.
Also,
so that will be an amendment to Section 3.
Yes.
Section 3.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
A sentence making as reference to the pertinent provisions or requirements under Republic Act number 10868.
Yes. And also, Mr. Chair, I believe 100,000 would really be appropriate for this particular purpose. So I support the recommendation to make the amount 100,000.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So we are determining the amount. The proposed ordinance says it's 50,000. There is now a proposal to make it 100,000. Why not make it 1 million? Why not make it 1 million? We have so much amount. Well, actually, that is not my That is not my point of increasing the amount to 1 million. If you have heard it from the Honorable Greg Abunal, under the law, the national government through DSWD is mandated to give 100,000. It's the national government, 100,000. But also under the same law, there is a provision there stating that the concerned local government unit can also grant an amount which the local government unit will have to determine necessarily depending on its capacity. Now, the Honorable Abunal had also told you, and I will have to confirm this, other local government units in the Bicol region had also passed necessary ordinance as an enabling ordinance of Republic Act number 10868. There is that local government unit giving 10,000, giving 20,000. The highest is 30,000, and that is the city of Legazpi. The proposal is 50. Isn't that sufficient? Isn't that sufficient? I understand that we are also catering to other needs of the senior citizens. Okay? Councilor Akil Arroyo.
Yes.
By the way, the amount being proposed is on top of the 100,000 that is given by the national government. So 100,000 plus so much amount under the proposed ordinance. Councilor Akil Arroyo.
Yes, actually, Mr. Chair, I really wish we could give more. But I am thinking that at the age of 100, halos dikito na lang ang natatada, if at all, sa buhay kang sa tong senior citizen na iyan. We're not saying na immediately magagana, but that's the reality. Why don't we give it in 2 tranches? For example, we give it at 95 years old, itautan na ang kabangang 50, and then pag naka 100, another 50. Para at least ma-enjoy man, kayo talagang gusto tang tauan ng kaiyan. If the intention really is to give them something for achieving such a great feat of living up to 100 years old. Why can't we do that?
In response, may I refer to item number 4 of the committee report, in the committee report. Please.
Item number 4 of the committee report. Christine.
Okay. Item number 4, the committee also considered the idea of granting part of the cash incentive in advance, but decided to retain the centennial nature of the grant. Kasi centenarian award, bakong 99 nariyan, bakong 98 tariyan. Okay? Instead, further discussion will be conducted toward possible amendment of the revised Senior Citizens Ordinance to embody further care for seniors nearing their centennial year. In other words, rather than partial grant, already there were suggestions to add benefits na atamanon na yung tanganing makabot man 100. In other words, we're not closing ourselves to that, but that is to be an amendment to be incorporated in the revised Senior Citizens Ordinance. But the idea of granting it on the 99th year, 98th, 95th year is something we did not think to be able to retain the centenarian nature of the recognition.
If ever, probably that should be contained in another proposed legislation. But for the meantime, we have to focus on the proposal which appears to be an enabling ordinance of that particular provision under Republic Act number 10868. Councilor Akil Arroyo.
Well, on condition, Mr. Chair, that indeed we will be granting assistance to the senior citizen in the hope that he will achieve 100 years old. We will be granting them assistance so that they can really be taken care of, so that they will reach 100 years old. I will be willing to accept the 50,000 as proposed. in this ordinance on condition that we will indeed pass an ordinance that we will grant them assistance even before they reach 100 years old to ensure or to help them that they will really reach 100 years old. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Can we now decide on the amount? Should it be 50 or 100? If 100, according to Councilor Greg Abunal, this will have to be referred first, or he will still have to ask our city budget officer about this. But if it is 50, apparently there is no need to refer back the same to the budget officer.
Mr. Chairman.
So, do I hear a motion amending the proposed ordinance that instead of 50, the amount be increased to 100? Councilor Julian Labadia Jr.
Actually, Mr. Chairman, we are on a committee as a whole. Since Mayo pa man nagmo-motion, I would like to move that on joint and collective that we endorse 100,000 pesos for the grant of centennial award to the 100 years old Naga City citizen.
Is there an objection? There being none, the amount is approved on condition that it will still have to be...
If it's approved by this body, then everybody will have to follow.
Meaning,
unconditional.
Earlier you said you will still have to refer to or ask the city budget officer. So you are saying there will be no need for that? You will no longer be asking...
Yun na po yan, masusunod.
I thought we still have to check on our financial capacity,
Mr. Chairman,
capability.
Mr. Chairman,
at any rate, if that is the case, then so be it. Councilor Labadia?
Ano na lang, Mr. Chairman, I would like, itong move, Mr. Chairman, is on joint and collective, just for the record, nag-approve kita on joint and collective, Mr. Chairman, for the 100,000.
Councilor Del Castillo?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Actually, tama si Konsyal Abunal, Ginoong Tagapangulo. Pag inaprobahan natin ito, kailangan sumunod ang lahat.
Yes, I know that. I know that. I know that. I am just thinking about checking on our financial capability. If you have noticed earlier, I even proposed that we make it 1 million. But it appears we cannot do that. Anyway,
can we just...
with respect to the other provisions of the proposed ordinance, is there no comment or question about this, the other provision of the proposed ordinance? Because we are approving not only the amount, but the entire provisions, the entire ordinance.
Just two things, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Councilor Greg.
First, I would like to call your attention to we treat the Republic Act a little bit. The Republic Act says that on the first Sunday of October, that is declared as the Respect for Centenarians Day, etc. And that is the date when the recognition is awarded and when the money is given. That's according to the Republic Act. However, Mr. Chairman, in practice, you will recall that some 2 weeks ago, Mr. Del Castillo was given his 100,000 from national office. It did not wait for October 1. And therefore, our ordinance says that the amount granted by the city will be given on the centenarian's birthday. We don't wait for October 1 anymore. That's the difference. Secondly, Mr. Chairman, if we're worried about the money, I am informed that the provision for 1% of the budget is no longer in the General Appropriations Act. However, it is still an ordinance. It's still in our ordinance that we set aside 1%. And sabi ko kay Frank, dahil nga ako hahaliun yan. Now, if therefore we hit, and we have already hit 1 billion, then we will have 10 million for the senior citizen. Sa senior citizen po, Mr. Chairman, igosa naman budget under the control of the OSCA. Most of it is really streamlined with DSWD because of the grants that the CSWD gives, Department of our Health Office because of the medical assistance that is given. Sabi po ni Councilor Baldimoro, pero sufficient man po yan, kaya ang 100,000. And therefore, even as the committee recommends 500, I do not hear any objection from members of the committee. Siguro mas happy nga kami niyan kung 100,000. Okay?
Okay. So, any other comment on the other provisions? None? Councilor Baldimoro?
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Matanong ko lang po sa Section 3 on the documentary requirements, bakit po wala yung birth certificate? Bakit wala sa documentary requirements ang
Well, what does it say? Any government-issued identification that would establish the centenarians be 100-year-old age. Anything that will show that he is indeed 100 years.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So it could be the birth certificate. That's the best, I suppose, and then the rest.
In addition, that will fall under the term document.
Yes.
And remember earlier that this provision was proposed to be modified.
Yes, Mr.
To make reference to the applicable provision under the Filipino Centenarians Act of 2016. If it is all right with the author, I have just some concern under Section 2. Please refer to the third sentence of Section 2, which reads, both the cash incentive and the plaque of recognition shall likewise be given to each living resident who turned 100 years old prior to the enactment of RA 10868 on June 23, 2016. End of this ordinance.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Was the enactment on June 23, 2016?
That's the date that I saw on the paper, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
But we could verify that.
Okay.
In other words, Mr. Chairman, yung pong pinangalanan na dalawang Naga City, ang isa po noon is actually 106 years old na. In other words, nakalampas na nga, siya ang covered kang sentence na yan.
But if we make use of the term prior to the enactment, that means that
nag-100 na siya. Nag-100 na siya bago approve ng law.
Councilor Labadia Jr.
Ang pagkakaintindi ko kay Mr. Chairman, si June 22 na minundag 2016, makaka-receive man kang incentive and plaque.
Correct.
So, si Gabos na nabubuhay, Mr. Chairman, ngunyan kung more than 100 na siya, makaka-receive man giraray.
Yes.
So, maski kung 110 ka na, mas lalo.
One of our two Naga City guys is supposedly 106 years old na.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Final motion?
I therefore move, Mr. Chairman, for the adoption of the proposed ordinance as amended.
Subject to the presentation of the final form?
Yes.
There being some amendments?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so we are approving this on second reading.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Greg Abonal. We proceed to the next item.
The report of the Committee on Culture and the Arts and Tourism with the proposed ordinance authorizing the city mayor to enter into a sisterhood agreement with
Councilor Baldimoro.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I move for a break, Mr. Chair?
Okay, we take a break.
are proud. We want the world to come to us and be a part of our hopes, of our dreams, of our new beginning. We will make a different start. We will now open up our door, a city like you've never seen before. Come feel the vibrance, come hear us shout. Experience magic, come to the south. With one proud city we welcome you. What you've been looking for, we have it too. With our commitment, we want you to know that we are here and we're about to show that Naga smiles to the world. 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 Naga smiles to the world.
I believe that there's so much to share and learn. And by way of this special sisterhood partnership with our cities, it will not only open doors for opportunities for exchange in governance, commerce, tourism, education, environment, livelihood, youth and sports development, culture and the arts, heritage conservation, social services, and citizens empowerment, but also foster the blending of two cultures, a heritage city and a pilgrim city.
So on behalf of the city government of Naga, thank you very much to the city government of Vigan, headed by Mayor Carlo and Vice Mayor Lourdes Bakiran, and the entire officialdom of the city of Vigan for this golden opportunity to be sister with the city of Naga.
Historically, we are twins whose umbilical cords can be traced to the papal bull entitled Super Specula Militantes Ecclesia, issued by Pope Clement VIII on August 14, 1595, that established the Spanish colonial cities of Nueva Cáceres and Nueva Segovia, making our respective territories the first 4 royal cities in the Philippines that include Manila and Cebu.
Naga City in the Bicol region has been known for its evolving unique governance paradigms and local governance programs. In fact, it has been recognized by various national and international institutions, receiving numerous awards for these achievements. The city leadership, with the people's ardent support, continues to inspire creativity, participation, and productivity. Like his predecessor, the late DILG Secretary Jesse M. Robredo, incumbent Mayor John G. Bongat continues to bring honor to the city. The latest of which, among others, is Naga's being a judge for 2 consecutive years, 2015 to 2016, as the country's overall #1 most competitive component city. Naga was likewise chosen in 2013 and 2016 as one of the top next wave cities of the Philippines. Also in 2014, the Lee Kuan Yew Institute of Public Policy of the National University of Singapore recognized Naga's ICT-driven project entitled Using ICT for Civic Engagement Towards Responsive Decision-Making as the most inspiring innovation in e-government and participatory innovations in Asia. Mayor Bongat's aggressive pro-investment platform has yielded positive results. In 2014, BLGF certified that Naga has developed a strong local revenue base from real property and business taxes because of its robust economy, controlling a 44% share in the total revenues of all 7 cities in the Bicol region, a feat that remains unparalleled to date. To cap it all, Mayor Bongat himself received in 2016 the prestigious CEO Excel Award given by the International Association of Business Communicators Philippines for its exemplary leadership in the field of public service. Mayor Bongat, with his game-changing leadership raised by a solid foundation of good governance, is expected to continue leading his beloved city to greater heights. Competitiveness and livability has been the city government's focus since Mayor Bongat assumed office in July 2010. The efforts can be summed up in our Help Your City agenda, which stands for HELP: health, housing, and the urban poor, education, arts, culture, and sports development, livelihood, employment, and human development, peace and order and public safety, cleanliness and environmental protection, and transparency, accountability, and good governance. Truly, Naga City has evolved into a community that is worth living, enjoyable, and sustainable. However, the most important element of Naga City is its people. So, the city government exerts extra effort in providing and sustaining programs for the various sectors. Aside from the multi-awarded Naga City People's Council, NCPC, which is the primary venue for participation in governance by the organized sectors, the city maintains development and programs for its urban poor, PWDs, senior citizen, youth, and women. These programs, offices, and organizations have become institutional expressions of the care and attention provided by the city government to every Nagueño, Nagueña. Just recently, the Manila Times has chosen Naga as one of the top 10 model livable cities in the country. Naga City, beyond being livable, is well on its way to being lovable city, inspiringly livable and adorable indeed.
We want the world to come to us and be a part of our hopes, of our dreams, of our new beginning. We will make a different start. We will now open up our door, a city like you've never seen before. Come feel the vibrance, come hear us shout. Experience magic, come to the south. With one proud city we welcome you. What you've been looking for, we have it too. With our commitment, we want you to know that we are here and we're about to show that Naga smiles to the world. 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 Naga smiles. Naga smiles to the world.
So much to share and learn. And by way of this special sisterhood partnership with our cities, it will not only open doors for opportunities for exchange in governance, commerce, tourism, education, environment, livelihood, youth and sports development, culture and the arts, heritage conservation, social services, and citizens empowerment, but also foster the blending of two cultures, a heritage city and a pilgrim city.
So on behalf of the city government of Naga, thank you very much to the city government of Vigan, headed by Mayor Carlo and Vice Mayor Lourdes Bakiran, and the entire officialdom of the city of Vigan for this golden opportunity to be sister with the city of Naga.
Historically, we are twins whose umbilical cords can be traced to the papal bull entitled Super Specula Militantes Ecclesia, issued by Pope Clement VIII on August 14, 1595, that established the Spanish colonial cities of Nueva Cáceres and Nueva Segovia, making our respective territories the first four royal cities in the Philippines that include Manila and Cebu.
Naga City in the Bicol region has been known for its evolving unique governance paradigms and local governance programs. In fact, it has been recognized by various national and international institutions, receiving numerous awards for these achievements. The city leadership, with the people's ardent support, continues to inspire creativity, participation, and productivity. Like his predecessor, the late DILG Secretary Jesse M. Robredo, incumbent Mayor John G. Bongat continues to bring honor to the city. The latest of which, among others, is Naga's being a judge for 2 consecutive years, 2015 to 2016, as the country's overall #1 most competitive component city. Naga was likewise chosen in 2013 and 2016 as one of the top next wave cities of the Philippines. Also in 2014, the Lee Kuan Yew Institute of Public Policy of the National University of Singapore recognized Naga's ICT-driven project entitled Using ICT for Civic Engagement Towards Responsive Decision-Making as the most inspiring innovation in e-government and participatory innovations in Asia. Mayor Bongat's aggressive pro-investment platform has yielded positive results. In 2014, BLGF certified that Naga has developed a strong local revenue base from real property and business taxes because of its robust economy, controlling a 44% share in the total revenues of all 7 cities in the Bicol region, a feat that remains unparalleled to date. To cap it all, Mayor Bongat himself received in 2016 the prestigious CEO Excel Award given by the International Association of Business Communicators Philippines for its exemplary leadership in the field of public service. Mayor Bongat, with his game-changing leadership raised by a solid foundation of good governance, is expected to continue leading his beloved city to greater heights. Competitiveness and livability has been the city government's focus since Mayor Bongat assumed office in July 2010.
Your report is duly acknowledged.
We have 2 items discussed. One is letter dated July 4, 2017 of Honorable Hermenegildo Gualberto, City Mayor of San Fernando, La Union, inviting the city government of Naga to enter into a sisterhood relationship with their city. May I go to the disposition, Mr. Chair?
Yes, please.
Motion of Councilor Gregorio Abunal, seconded by Honorable Salvador del Castillo. The body, the committee resolved to authorize the mayor, John Bongat, to pass a resolution to enter into an agreement with the sisterhood relationship with the city of San Fernando, La Union. So I have here the resolution now, Mr. Chair, and may I,
please proceed.
May I pass that we pass a resolution authorizing His Honor, the City Mayor John G. Bongat, for and in behalf of the Naga City Government, to enter into a sisterhood agreement with the City Government of San Fernando, La Union on a joint and collective motion.
On joint and collective motion.
Second item is undated letter of Mr. Torino Ricky Roses Jr., program host Axiom Pinoy, asking support to be one of their partners and sponsors of a talk show on local TV which shares and focuses on information, education, entertainment, and evangelization partnership with the government of Naga. May I go to the disposition, Mr. Chair?
Yes, please.
On motion of Honorable Salvador del Castillo, duly seconded, the committee denied the request for partnership between and among Axiom Pinoy, the City Government of Naga, and the Naga City People's Mall. So I move, Mr. Chair.
Any second? Is there an objection? There being none, the same is approved.
That ends up my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Jose Ranyola. Next item.
The report to the Committee on Land Use.
Committee on Land Use to be rendered. Report to be rendered by Councilor Rocky Arroyo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I request acknowledgement of the report of the Committee on Land Use for hearing held on June 9, 2017.
Your report is duly acknowledged. Was there a quorum?
Yes, Mr. Chair. We achieved a quorum before the adjournment. After the first item was tackled.
Okay.
There were only 6 items tackled by the committee. Item number 1, letter dated February 2, 2017 of Ms. Raquel Rosario M. Cunanan Marayag, Acting Director, Public Assistance and Corruption Prevention Bureau, Office of the Ombudsman, referring the letter of Mitch Butor on some concerns or issues regarding Parkview Executive Townhomes. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, but I think the committee hearing was held on July, I think this was copy-pasted. So, may I see correction? It was just 2 weeks ago that we had the hearing on this particular subject matter. May we request correction from the Secretary of the Committee? Baka ginamit na form sa pagbibukang report was a former form, for a former report. It was not on June 9, but just 2 weeks ago that this hearing was conducted.
This cannot be on June 9.
Yes.
Because if you will take notice, item 2, the letter is dated June 28.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. It should be July 24. It was just last week, I believe. Yes. So, when I corrected the report, I did not anymore check the date. But I think obviously it was copied. Okay, so am I reading the same report? Am I reading the same report?
At any rate, Councilor Rocky Arroyo, I think this item 1 of the report may now be considered as moot and academic, given our resolution denying the application for alteration of development permit of ERDC.
The disposition, Mr. Chair,
subject of the letter of Ms. Butor, and on the basis of which a letter was already sent by this representation to Ms. Butor, making use of that resolution as reference.
Okay. In fact, that was the recommendation of the committee also, Mr. Chair, that the Sangguniang send a letter to Ombudsman informing of the actions taken by the Sangguniang. So, item number 1, with the information from the Vice Mayor that the recommendation had in fact been carried out by his office. So, we move that the matter be declared as moot and academic.
Okay. This item is moot and academic.
The correction, Mr. Chair, for the committee hearing is July 24, 2017. May I proceed to the next items? Letter dated June 28, 2017 of Ms. Hasmin Elma Espronda, Project Support Office, Concepcion Grande Development and Corporation, informing that they have already furnished Mr. Gavino Pilapil with a copy of the letter of Attorney Redencio Villavera, dated March 23, 2017, duly received by Mr. Pilapil last May 6, 2017. Number 3, Board Resolution, Series of 2017 of St. James Homeowners Association Incorporated expressly providing that the President shall represent the association in all activities to which it is a party or participant. Item number 4, letter dated June 3, 2017 of Mr. Gavino S. Pilapil, President, St. James Homeowners Association, concerning request for deferment of the deed of donation of St. James Home Subdivision, Concepcion Grande, Naga City. And 5, legal opinion number 2017-014 of the City Legal Officer relative to the authority of the city to accept roads and open spaces in private subdivision. All the matters are taken simultaneously, Mr. Chairman. May I proceed directly to the disposition?
Yes, please.
On motion duly seconded, the committee resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod to direct the SP Secretary to write the DPWH and request the expeditious action on the alleged violation of certain standards in the development of St. James Homes. So we move, Mr. Chair.
Why DPWH?
The city engineer, Mr. Chair, informed the committee that the DPWH is actually the one which has jurisdiction on the noted non-compliance with certain development standards. So we are waiting for the definitive determination of the DPWH on the matter so that we may consider whether such determination would be material to the decision to accept the deed of donation or not. And we have already previously wrote the DPWH on the matter. The recommendation is only to follow up and request its expeditious action.
Any second? Without objection, the same is approved.
The body also resolved to note the opinion of the City Legal Officer.
Okay, the same is noted.
Item number 6 and last, letter dated July 14, 2017 of Architect Gino Paulo Villafuerte, submitting their intention to apply for the inclusion under the Comprehensive Land Use Plan, the 40-hectare proposed development located at Rojas Avenue Diversion Road, Barangay Triangulo, Naga City, adjacent to Pure Gold, Naga. May we move directly to the disposition?
Yes, please.
On joint and collective motion, the committee resolved to favorably recommend to the City Planning and Development Office to consider the proposed plan in the finalization of the Comprehensive Land Use Plan of the City of Naga. So we move, Mr. Chairman.
Without objection, the same is approved.
That ends my report, Mr.
Thank
Chair.
you, Councilor Mila Rakid Arroyo. Councilor Greg Abonal.
Mr. Chairman, just a procedural question, Mr. Chairman. Then, can we please flash yung attendance report ng committee? I'm taking advantage of yung attendance report.
Okay. Attendance.
Okay. Notice that the attendance indicates four present and apparently 4 absent. But that's not the original point. What I wanted to point out, Mr. Chairman, was after one disposition, there is a report. I don't know. I'm seeing this for the first time. I don't know whether all other reports so indicate the arrival of a member. Yung pagdating ni Councilor Baldemoro, naka-indicate at this point niya, Councilor Baldemoro arrived and therefore a quorum was declared. Something to that effect. Parang after pa yata. Can we take a look at this point, Honorable Baldemoro, and so the chair declared a quorum. Procedurally, Mr. Chairman, I just wanted, siguro wag na nating sasabihin yun in our committee reports. Otherwise, para bang procedurally, the items before that should have been presented to the body as committee of the whole. Kasi hindi pwedeng binding yun if there was no quorum. A practice that we do. Pag nagko-committee hearing, dire-diretso lang kita. Pag may nagabot, may quorum na. Even that. So, at this point, I would suggest na kung pwede, wag nang mag-indicate ng arrival at the quorum.
Okay. I think Councilor Rakid Arroyo would like to react.
The statement should have been, Mr. Chair, that and therefore the quorum was declared as achieved. Okay? We are not declaring the quorum at that time, but we are declaring the achievement of that quorum. What is also the importance of indicating that? It's to be truthful about the proceedings of the committee. It is not correct to say that if the quorum was only declared achieved at that point, then the previous proceedings are therefore had without quorum. That's not true. Because once the quorum is achieved, the party who has caused the quorum to be achieved can always question the proceedings had before his arrival. So that is not true. That is not true that the previous proceedings before the arrival of the party that enabled the committee to achieve a quorum is deemed as had without a quorum.
Councilor Greg, would you like to make a rebuttal?
No, I will not insist on my mind on the matter, Mr. Chairman, but my mathematics tells me now where you do not have majority, whatever is decided is not binding.
And in fact, that is also my opinion, but that is also that is only my opinion. Okay, at any rate, we proceed to the next item.
The report of the Committee on Transport.
Committee on Transportation.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and my colleagues.
Good morning.
May I request that the committee report, July 26, be acknowledged?
Your report is duly acknowledged.
Mr. Chair, during the committee hearing, we discussed several items. Item 1, the first endorsement dated July 14, endorsing the new application for Tri-Mobile franchise of the following. May I go directly to the disposition, Mr. Chair?
Yes, please.
Finding the documents submitted are complete and in order, on motion of Honorable Baldimoro, duly seconded by Honorable Sanchez Jr., the body resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod for the passage of a resolution approving or granting transfer of Tri-Mobile franchise of the following persons. 1, from Lolita P. Palibino to Ryan P. Palibino of San Rafael, Carraya, Naga City, with sidecar number 0507. I so move, Mr. Chair.
Without objection, same is approved.
Another is from Bob Jones Clavicilla to Grace M. Clavicilla of Zone 2, Concepcion Pequeña, Naga City, but sidecar number 0645. I so move, Mr. Chair.
Without objection, the same is approved.
Next is from Florentino M. Santiago Sr. to Leonora S. Bongais of San Juan Street, Carraya, Naga City, with body sidecar number 1076. I so move, Mr. Chair.
Same is approved.
Next item, letter dated July 5 of Miss Maria Arlene B. Arroyo, Representative, and Miss Leonor I. Bernal, Manager of the Marilac Multipurpose and Transport Service Cooperative, requesting that their pending request of 5 units franchise be given preferential attention. As to the disposition, Mr. Chair, on motion of Honorable Baldimoro, duly seconded by Honorable Sanchez Jr., the body resolved to defer the matter pending the submission of the final report and recommendation of the PSO and the PNP regarding the 90-day test run of e-trikes. And resolved further to reiterate to the PNP and PSO the submission of their report not only for the PROSA but also to the BMAC, Mr. Chair. I so move, Mr. Chair.
Same is approved.
Next item, letter dated July 13 of Mr. Domingo Porlaje Jr., Manager, Piston Development Multipurpose and Transport Service Cooperative, requesting for individual resolutions for the 21 units Tri-Mobile owned by the cooperative. As to the disposition, Mr. Chair, in consideration of the manifestation of the Tri-Mobile Task Force that the applicant had submitted the required documents and all that is lacking is the issuance of the individual resolutions, on motion of Honorable Baldimoro, duly seconded by Honorable Sanchez Jr., the body resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod
to grant the request of Piston for the issuance of individual resolutions for their 21 units of Trimobile. I so move, Mr. Chair.
Councilor Labadia.
Since sa ano po yan, from piston to individual, mahapot lang ko kung may present na board resolution na nagtutugot na si ano. Kasi garo, digli yung Mr. Chairman, garo letter lang from the manager. Kung igawang board resolution,
Councilor Baldimoro.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Ang pakakatanda ko po is ang transfer is from ang hinihingi pong resolution ay sa kooperatiba ulit, not from piston to individual. Although ang sinasabi pong individual resolution, pa isa-isang resolution, not to individual person. So ang ang hinihingi pong resolution is mabigyan lang ng tigi-isang resolution kada prangkisa ng Trimobile para din sa piston, hindi po sa individual na tao. Maraming salamat.
So with that clarification, upon motion without objection, the same is approved.
Maraming salamat po. Next item po. Letter dated April 21, 2017 of Mr. Jimmy Castañeda, MNEBTS Chairman, submitting the list of 14 drivers applying for e-trike franchise with their requirements. And another letter, first endorsement dated June 27 from the Office of the City Mayor, endorsing the letter dated June 21, 2017 of Mr. Jimmy Castañeda, MNEBTS Co-op Chairman, forwarding the list of drivers who are applying for e-trike franchise. Items 4 and 5, Mr. Chair, were taken up simultaneously for they have the same concern. As to disposition, on motion of Honorable Baldimoro, duly seconded by Honorable Sanchez Jr., the body resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod to grant the 14 applicants e-trike franchise as contained in the letter dated April 21, subject to the submission of updated driver's ID, duly submitted and verified by the Trimobile Task Force. I so move, Mr. Chair.
Without objection, Councilor Del Castillo.
Just a query, Mr. Chairman. Are these 14 submitted already the complete requirement for in connection with their application for a franchise?
Councilor Lito.
During the committee hearing, the Trimobile Task Force manifested that they already have completed the required documents. What is only lacking is the updated IDs.
Okay. So thank you, Mr.
Okay. So with that, we are approving the recommendation.
Another disposition, Mr. Chair, the body resolved to defer consideration of the request for an e-trike franchise for the 7 applicants as appearing in the letter dated June 27, pending submission of all the requirements to the Trimobile Task Force. Next item, Mr. Chair, letter dated May 2, 2017 of Ms. Olivia L. Tagumata, President, Deca Homes Grand Bale Pajak Drivers and Operators Association, submitting Resolution 01-2017 entitled Resolution respectfully requesting the Honorable John G. Bongat, City Mayor, Naga City, to allocate additional 6 units of Pajak at Deca Homes Grand Bale, San Felipe, Naga City, for your consideration and favorable action. As to the disposition, on motion of Honorable Baldimoro, duly seconded by Honorable Sanchez Jr., the body resolved to recommend to the Sangguniang Panlungsod to grant the request of the Deca Homes Grand Bale Pajak Drivers and Operators Association for an additional 6 Pajak units to service the residents. I so move, Mr. Chair.
Without objection, the same is approved.
Next item, letter dated July 10, 2017 of Mr. Ronnie Adriano Amoroso and Ronnie San Juan, requesting for a written endorsement to be presented to LTFRB to secure the necessary documents for franchise to provide multi-cab transport services. As to the disposition, Mr. Chair, the body resolved to defer the matter until such time that the LTFRB acts on all pending applications relative to public transport that will ply along Almeda Highway. I so move, Mr. Chair.
Councilor Baldimoro, and then after you, Councilor Labadia Jr.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Isa lang pong pagwawasto sa disposisyon at yung nakasaad na sinabi ko sa hearing ng komite. Isinabi ko po doon sa proponent kay Mr. Amoroso na yung naaprubahan na rota via Almeda Highway ay may mga proponent din yon. So dahil may mga proponent yung rota na sila din yung nag-isip, ay sinabi ko na hindi maaaring pagbigyan yung kanilang kahilingan, and malugod naman pong tinanggap ni Mr. Amoroso. So on the sa disposition, Mr. Chair, we deny the request of the proponent and suggested to look for another multi-cab route for which if it is applicable, it will be endorsed by the Sangguniang. Malugod naman pong tinanggap ng proponent, naintindihan naman niya na merong mga nag-isip ng linya para doon sa Almeda Road. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Thank you, Councilor Baldimoro.
Mr. Chair, sumasangayon po ako sa manifestasyon ni Councilor Baldimoro na during the committee hearing ay amin pong dininay yung request ng proponent, at sinabi po namin na maghanap na lang po siya ng ibang alternative na rota na pwede niyang i-propose, at malugod niya naman pong tinanggap. Kaya may pagbabago po tayo sa disposition po, Mr. Chair.
So instead of deferment,
we deny, Mr.
Okay. Without objection? Yes, Councilor Akid Arroyo.
Ano po yung proposal ng Mr. Amoroso? Ano po ba yung proposal niya?
Nagpo-propose po siya, ma'am, ng multi-cab na rota pong Almeda Highway mula sa parang GSIS yun, Almeda Highway.
Okay.
At na-recall po namin na mayroon ng dating rota doon na multi-cab na namatay lang po. It died in natural death because wala man pong pasahero doon. Ngayon po, yung resolution natin sa Sangguniang ay binuhay na po natin yung rotang iyon sa mga nakaraang mga session, at medyo nahuli lang po yung proposal niya. Kaya po yung manifestation during the committee hearing, sinabihan po namin siya na maghanap na lang ng ibang rotang, at kanya naman po tinanggap niya.
Bakit po kailangan niya maghanap ng ibang rota? Baka po dapat ang disposition natin ay i-consider ang kanyang proposal as moot and academic, kasi already even previously acted upon. Ibig sabihin, meron na tayong aksyon dun sa hinihingi niya. So, moot yung kanyang hinihingi na yon.
Let us be clarified about the nature of the request.
Yes, that's
Was it for the establishment of the route or for a written endorsement in favor of the requesting party and his group? Kasi, please take a look at item number 7. It says requesting for a written endorsement. So it's not actually establishment of a road.
Yeah.
Councilor Elmer Baldimoro.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Kadagdagan po sa nabanggit ng aming chairman, ang hinihingi po ni Mr. Amoroso ay exclusive written endorsement to LTFRB on our approved route. Meron po tayong naaprubahan na ruta from Almeda Highway to the CBD. Ang hinihingi po ni Mr. Amoroso is a exclusive written endorsement na parang sa kanila na natin binibigay yung right to operate on that route, Mr. Chair. Na ang sinabi ko nga sa kanya, on my part, hindi namin siya pwedeng pagbigyan kasi may nag-isip din ng rotang yon na still pending yung application sa LTFRB. And recently, we already approved a Egypt route on the same route. So ang sabi ko sa kanya, hindi naman maaari na pagbigyan kayo on your exclusive written endorsement dahil merong nag-isip din ng rotang yun. So, and ang nag-suggest kami sa kanya na baka pwedeng makapag-design din sila ng multi-cab route na pwedeng i-endorse ng Sangguniang Panlungsod. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So, with that clarification, okay, we proceed.
Thank
By
you.
the way, we acknowledge the presence of Engineer Leon Palmiano IV, our city engineer.
And also, Mr. Chair, Engineer Ruben siya of
yes, of
my
course,
friend.
Engineer Ruben.
Next item, Mr. Chair.
Your friend.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Order from Regional Trial Court, 5th Judicial Region, Branch 61, the City on Criminal Case 2016-0849, People of the Philippines, Complainants versus Isagani Gayundato, E. Primavera, and Erickson Flores E. Serena, accused. As to the disposition, upon verification that Ms. Soledad Gomez was not invited nor informed in today's hearing and in observance of the due process, the body resolved to defer the matter and requested the Secretariat to invite on the next hearing the said person. Ito po yung may-ari, si Ms. Soledad Gomez, siya po yung may-ari ng trimobile na nahuling na ginagamit ng may dalan po ng shabu. So we'll direct the Secretariat to invite her during the next committee. I so move, Mr. Chair. So
that's approved. Thank you, Councilor Lito de Rosario. Yes, Councilor Akid Arroyo.
Yes, Mr. Ricky, can we go back to the disposition on the request of Piston for separate resolutions? Just to clarify, Mr. Chair, my understanding is that we've never awarded franchise to a cooperative. Ang itinauta sa Inda, Mr. Chair, is the privilege to recommend to the Sangguniang any of its qualified members. Kumbaga, ang tinawan to Sinda is may privilege sindang mag-recommend. Kung qualified ang na-recommend Ninda, tinatawan natang priority itong mga members Ninda. And pag ma-transfer man, pwedeng i-transfer as per decision kang cooperative, pero sa members man giraray. But the award is personal. No? Duman sa mga pigre-recommend Nindang mga franchise holders. So, can we clarify that matter?
Councilor Baldemoro.
Ito po ni Mr. Chair, itong nag-arise na problema pertaining po duman sa mga tricycle without a resolution owned by the Piston. So ang big request Mr. Chair ng Piston Cooperative to have a individual resolution for the individual franchise. So wala pong transfer. Ang big request lang nila is to have a resolution.
Yes.
In other words, the committee had assumed that these trimobile units had been given franchise in the name of the cooperative. That's the assumption.
Yes, which is actually my point. Because the franchise is awarded to a person. But mayo kitang award sa entities. May award in the ordinance, we define the privilege of a cooperative.
So in whose favor was the franchise given?
To the individual, Mr. Chair. But the individual is member of Piston and chosen by Piston.
So why is the cooperative requesting an individual franchise
because there is no
in the same name of the cooperative?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Councilor Baldemoro.
I understand.
And then after you, Councilor Del Castillo.
I understand, Mr. Chair, that the owner of the franchise as well as the tricycle is owned by the cooperative, the Piston. So they requested a resolution since na ito po itong lacking document. May na take up na po baga on our previous session na may mga franchise na mayong resolution. And the ordinance that was authored by the Honorable Arroyo, yun na po ito ang macure kaiyan. And then, upon learning, I assume, by the Piston, so they requested an individual resolution for the 21 units of Trimobile in the name of the cooperative.
Okay, let us seek an enlightenment from the Secretary.
Yes,
From
Mr.
the
Chair.
Secretary of the Sangguniang Panlungsod, the head of the task force, Trimobile Task Force, Mr. Gil de la Torre.
Your Honor, this is in compliance with the direction of the Sangguniang to ensure that each Trimobile franchise must possess a resolution approved by the Sangguniang.
Okay, okay. The main question is whether or not this so much number of franchise, this so much units, are these owned by the cooperative? Did we grant franchise to these Trimobiles in favor of the cooperative?
There is a board resolution of Piston.
No. Our reference document should be the disposition of the Sangguniang Panlungsod. Do we have a resolution granting so much number of franchises in favor of the cooperative, in favor of Pistons?
That will be checked, Mr. Chair, based on our records.
Okay. So pending clarification from the records, can we consider as deferred our disposition on that particular item? Okay. So with the agreement of everyone?
Okay. I move that we defer, Mr. Chair, consideration of the letter request of Piston. Okay.
Without objection, the same is approved. Thank you, Councilor Lito del Rosario. Can we go back to item number 2 of the unfinished business?
The letter dated July 26, 2017 from the city engineer and building official submitting his comments and recommendations with respect to the failure of his office to prevent construction of illegal structures within the city.
Okay. The city engineer will please approach the podium and respond to questions that may be asked by the members of this body on this particular item. Anyone? Earlier, a member of this body moved that we invite Engineer Palmiano de Fort. Councilor Akid Arroyo.
Actually, I'm not the one who moved to invite him, Mr. Chair, because his response is very clear. In fact, I already recommended action from the Sangguniang. But in as much as he is here, may we know from Engineer Palmiano, why is it that your recommendations for additional personnel, if indeed such recommendation have been made, had not been favorably responded to?
Mr. Chair, we actually had, with regards to the requirement for lack of engineering personnel, we have requested a couple of times already for the additional personnel. Unfortunately, in the last 2 years, some of our items in the engineering department were even removed from our budget. So we requested again. This year we have several requests for personnel. Again, unfortunately, it's not yet being filled up, but I hope it will be filled up within the year. And then we have additional also personnel for next year, 2018, which is in our AIP. I hope this will be acted upon and will be filled up by the city.
Councilor Del Castillo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mayapot ko lang, Mr. Chair, kay Engineer Palmiano, Because if my memory serves me right, for 2017 budget, we have created some position for the Office of the City Engineer. So, ang gustong sabihin ba, dahil pa napipil upon itong mga creation of position, despite the inclusion of WITs in the 2017 budget?
Right now, Mr. Chair, it's not yet filled up. But there is already it was already published, I think, a month ago. We're just awaiting for the for the selection committee to call the applicants, Mr. Chair.
So with that manifestation, Mr. Chairman of the City Engineer, we might as well direct the Human Resource Management Officer to expedite the filling up of such position. Not only at the Office of the City Engineer, but the other offices that needs additional personnel. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Del Castillo. Councilor Akid Arroyo.
Mr. Chair, Engineer Palmiano, if those positions will be filled up, will that result in additional personnel or just movement? Kasi baka movement na naman kang existing personnel, mayo kitang madadagdag. Will that really actually provide us with the personnel that you said your office badly needs?
Yes, Mr. Chair, it's actually a movement, no? Because right now we have 4 engineers who are all casuals, 5 engineers who are all casuals. And these items that were created this year hopefully will be filled up by these engineers who are casuals right now. We have for 2018, Madam. For 2018 po. Kasi right now I think that was the maximum that we can add.
What about this additional personnel that you said you need, as stated in your letter dated July 26, 2017? Is this already forming part of your proposal for 2018?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Actually, for 2018, we requested additional 3 more. We need an architect for the building office also. 2 engineers and 1 architect, Mr. Chair.
So all this additional personnel will already suffice for you to do the contemplated task?
Not yet, Mr. Chair, because if you try to look at the organizational structure supposedly by a building office, there should be 2 divisions. One is the processing division and the other one is the enforcement division. And both divisions will need at least 9 personnel or engineers to be able to perform the
why
tasks.
not include that in your proposal for 2018?
Mr. Chair, we tried to ask for additional personnel, but I think our budget limits it to these 2 personnel only. In fact, the 3. In fact, si tulungan ni Mr. Chair, medyo nadidipisilan pa kayo maghagas.
Any other comment? Councilor Akid Arroyo.
Yes, I'm just concerned, Mr. Chair, kasi as building official, dapat I really expect Engineer Palmiano to, in fact, feel desperate. No, dahil niya nagigibuan sa iyang trabaho in really arresting illegal constructions in the city. So, dapat naaanggot ka, engineer, tanong taday ka tinatawag katong kaipuhan mo, tangarig magibuan sa imong trabaho. Kung dito ba nagigibuan trabaho, mag-resign na lang kita. Kung mayo man kita katong necessary support, araw ko ni paparasingil mi ika, tanong taday mo nagigibo yan. So, dapat mag-propose ka, ano talaga si kaipuhan mo, tangarig magibuan sa imong trabaho. You should stand firm on that. Kasi natutuyawan kitang marinig di sa Naga, ang mga construction tadigdi, illegal kadaklan. No? And nagpaparaturugdok dyan, manotice kita, by the time na manotice man lang kita or ma-enforce na, if ever may enforcement, tapos na si building, so madidipisilan ng maray. So I really feel so really disappointed, no? Sa sitwasyon na ini-engineer, if you will stand on what you believe you need to really do your job, I believe we will support you.
In addition to that, engineer, an information has reached this representation that there are a number of buildings constructed without occupancy permit but are already being used.
Yes, Mr. Chair. There are really some buildings that are being occupied without yet the occupancy permit, Mr. Chair.
So why is that happening?
Some of them, Mr. Chair, actually...
and I understand that a lot of them could not secure the necessary occupancy permit because of some violations of our building code, and yet they are using the property and they are conducting business in the same structures with mayor's permit, with business permit.
Mr. Chair, those that have violations with the National Building Code, we really did not issue an occupancy permit. If we find out that they did not comply with the requirements of the code, even if they have a building permit, we did not issue an occupancy permit until after they comply with the requirements of the code. So that's
but the buildings are being utilized as offices for certain businesses with corresponding permits.
Mr. Chair,
Can you provide the City Treasurer's office list of those buildings, of those structures without occupancy permit? Is the absence of occupancy permit a ground for not issuing a business or mayor's permit?
Yes, Mr. Chair. It's supposed to be the requirement for business licenses.
So can you furnish the City Treasurer's office
We can do that,
the list?
We can do that, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Any other matter? Yes, Councilor Del Rosario, and then after you, Councilor Greg Abonal.
Good morning, Engineer. I-pacheck ko lang, Engineer, kung kung ang National Building Code pwedeng retroactive man ang effect. I-request ko lang sa imo, Engineer, kung pwedeng ma-check ta kung igwaning parking, nagsunod sa parking requirement ang Bicol Access clinic or hospital. Kasi saro yan sa pinaka-problema we are inviting investors sa Naga. Ngunyan kung nakalusot yan na mayo ning required parking na dahil nakasunod naman sa building code, siguro ma-check ta, then we expect a report from your end next session ang Bicol Access. Also, Engineer, if we could write ang USI, ang St. Joseph, na maghanap na sinda ng mga parking areas mantangarig matabangan ng syudad sa problema sa parking, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So we will expect from you, Engineer, a report on this?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Specifically on Bicol Access, St. Joseph, USI. Okay. Councilor Greg Abonal. By the way, within 10 days? Okay. Within 10 days?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Councilor Greg, please proceed.
Mr. Chairman, we are concerned at this point with violations of building permits, and now we're hearing parking permit, etc. I have no direct information, but sinasabi po bagang mabukas na ang Robinsons? I don't know. May I ask, can they operate without an occupancy permit?
Engineer?
They cannot, Mr. Chair. They should have an occupancy permit first.
Do we know whether they already have occupancy permit?
Right now, Mr. Chair, they are in the process of applying, Mr. Chair, for occupancy.
Yeah. Can they open on the date indicated, parang August 15? Without the occupancy permit?
And we were invited, but we will not go.
Why not?
There is no occupancy permit
Yeah,
yet.
I mean,
But the reason is that is also the day of our session. The opening is August 15. That is a Tuesday at 10 o'clock in the morning. Unless we say we suspend our rules, we suspend our session and go to Robinson's,
No.
which may not be good for us.
I
So
brought
we
this
will
up.
not go. We will not come.
I brought this up, Mr. Chairman, because that is not a small building. It's a massive business investment in Naga. Siguro dapat planchado man ang gabos nga hindi kita matatsaran. Right now, the complaint is naglipana ang mga violations. While we're at it, can we make sure na desinda magparahiro kung naising dining permits? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Thank you, Councilor Greg Abonal. If there is no other matter, I would like to bring up the previous task given to you, Engineer Palmiano. This is still related to illegal structures, and that is with respect to the conduct of parcellary survey in major roads, major thoroughfares in the city. We told you to undertake this or cause the conduct of parcellary survey. May we know any updates on this?
Mr. Chair, we just thought of having it outsourced, Mr. Chair, and we asked for proposals from the geodetic engineers. Yesterday, we received already 2 proposals, so maybe we can send the proposal and answer to this honorable body by tomorrow, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so we will expect that by tomorrow. Any other matter? If none, yes, Councilor Del Rosario.
Actually, Mr. Chair, ang positions na city engineer and city building official are separate. Sa pakaintindi ko po, separate. Dapat igwaman ng in charge kang building, di ba, engineer? I think siguro isabay mo na yan doon sa proposal mo para igwa na kita ng point person really for the building. Kasi ang pagkaintindi ko, Mr. Chair, yung position na city building official, pig-add lang ki engineer, mayong kita nakukuha ang ano ni. Garo additional function lang ni engineer. Dahil ko lang aram kung tama ang paano ko.
Mr. Chair, in the local government code, it is stated that
this is in San Felipe? San Felipe, okay. Next item.
Letter dated July 31, 2017 from the City Planning and Development Coordinator with respect to Villa El Nido subdivision.
We refer this to the Committee on Land Use.
The letter dated March 21, 2017 from Police Senior Superintendent Muñez submitting his comment to the letter of Mr. Tan Abromar in Sun Estate Development Corporation for their intent to rent or establish a police outpost within the GMR Coliseum.
This is pending before the Committee on City Properties. Okay, so we are, yes, Councilor Del Castillo.
Yes, Mr. Chair, but in connection with that, may we also request or direct the Secretary to send a tracer to Mr. Tan, the requesting party of that particular matter, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Because it's more than 2 months have elapsed, and up to now there is no response from their end.
So the Secretary is so instructed.
Thank you,
and he is likewise going to render a report on this. Next item.
The letter dated July 27, 2017 from Police Senior Superintendent Jonathan Panganiban with respect to the immediate stop of operation of EB well after the lapse of the 90-day test run.
Committee on Transport. Next item.
The letter dated July 27, 2017 from Ms. Maylene Cardona. Applying for franchise.
So we are also referring this to the Committee on Transportation. Councilor Labadia Jr.
Ito pong mga letter for reconsideration duman sa cancel ng mga franchise. Baka pwede, Mr. Chairman, na outright na dahil lampas na kitang pirang bulan na tinao, i-inform ta na sinda na denial. Imbis na i-refer ta sa committee, and then pag-abot sa committee, nagkakaigwapang hiribian luman, Mr. Chairman. So malulumoy man pati ang puso kaning member kang committee. So pagbabalik, pero for consideration na, Mr. Chairman.
Are we in... Are we in position, say for instance, right now to determine whether or not the letter, which is in the nature of a motion for consideration, was filed on time?
Mr. Chairman, ngunyan kaya, kung natatandaan ko, kinanselar ta ito kang February, March, mga April. So, after cancellation, Mr. Chairman, nagtao pa kita ng date na dapat they are given 15 days and 30 days to comply. And then, kung hihilingon ta, garo nagralampas na duman, nag-iistoryahan na lang, Mr. Chairman, na pwede pa yan ngayang ipareconsider o itao mo na lang yan kay Arog ka ni later on. Tamay nadangugan ako kay Mr. Chairman na pwede ipareconsider yan and then saka na naman lang. Kaya sa hiling ko, Mr. Chairman, itong gabos na huri na, i-inform ka na, Mr. Chairman.
Councilor Rakid Arroyo, I think you are reacting to the statement of Councilor Labadia Jr. Okay. Okay. Councilor Del Castillo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I definitely agree with the Honorable Labadia, Mr. Chair. But first, I believe that we must have a complete report on those covered by the 3 resolutions we passed before we finally decide on the matter, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Para kita ning kompletong ideya kung pirang prangkisa si Pigbarawi tana, pira si na-reconsider, pira si dahil na dapat i-consider.
Okay. Yeah. So we are tasking the Secretary.
The Tri-Mobile Task Force
okay. To render the report.
A final report on the outcome of the 3 resolutions.
Okay. 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 So the Secretary is instructed. For the meantime, this item is referred to the Committee on Transportation. Next item.
The letter of Mr. Eduardo Santa Rosa, also with respect to Tri-Mobile franchise.
Santa Rosa. Santa Rosa. Also, Committee on Transportation.
The letter dated July 31, 2017 from Ms. Joanna Lynn Colombo, also for transfer of franchise.
Committee on Transportation.
The letter dated July 27, 2017 from Mr. Nani Soron, submitting the list of trainers, coaches, whose honoraria or salaries are being paid by the city government from July to December 27.
Committee on Sports. Next item.
The letter dated November 22, 2016, the letter addressed to His Honor the City Mayor with respect to the rental rate for the use of spaces at the GMR Coliseum pending before the Committee on City Properties.
Councilor Del Castillo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Actually, this representation is the one request who have requested that this matter be included into this regular session. For first, Mr. Chairman, it appears that for 30 weeks the committee have not acted on this. But the fault is not with the committee, but with the office on which we have a request to submit some documents or matters that is necessary so that the committee could already finally dispose of the matter. So, ang gusto ko sabihin, Mr. Chair, pag may pigahalat pakitaning matter pertaining to any pending request or whatever it is, dapat suspended mo na si running kan si period na si pendency of the particular matter.
Okay.
And it should be considered as temporarily archived.
Okay.
Until sa time na masimbagan, ma-submit sa tuya kan si concerned office, sitong kinakaipuhan na mga bagay-bagay na pigahagad ta.
I think that is clear. We cannot decide on a given matter if we do not have the necessary information.
Yes. Na nag-brought out
that is true not only about this but also other matters pending before us, like for instance the matter of the eastbound terminal. We have previously instructed a group of officials, Allen Riondanga, Engineer Palmiano, about that drone aerial photo for us to be able to picture clearly the situation on the ground, the extent of the property, subject of the... But up to now, I understand we have yet to receive the report. That is another delay in disposing of the particular item. But as you said, we cannot be blamed. We cannot be faulted.
Yeah.
Insofar as this item is concerned, did we not issue about, I think about 2 sessions ago, did we not instruct another group?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
We are referring to the city treasurer, to
the city treasurer, the city assessor, and another officer.
Can the secretary send a follow-up letter?
Concerned lang ako, Mr. Chair, kani dahil pag-review ako sa itong report, nagluluwas na 30 semana dahil na-actoran kang committee. But I would make it clear na it's not the fault of the committee. But the fault of the office, we are requesting for some matters so that we can finally dispose of the matter.
Okay. At any rate, we had already taken another option.
Yes.
And that is for the city treasurer, the assessor, to provide us a proposed rental.
Yes. But paano dapat dahil man mag-reflect, Mr. Chair, duman sa report na harap na kaning kalabang periodo na dahil naghihiro ang sarong bagay. It will also affect the efficiency of any particular committee.
So your proposal is to consider any pending item what? Dispose of or archive?
Temporarily archived.
And any period consumed thereafter should not be counted as what? As period pending before the concerned committee?
Yes.
Okay. The secretary is instructed to carry out this sentiment of the Sangguniang Panlungsod.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Councilor Akid Arroyo.
I believe, Mr. Chair, para igweding basis ang secretary, I think it should be part of the disposition in the committee report. If the committee decides that the matter will already be sent to the archive temporarily, para clear. Otherwise, baka malito din ang satong secretary which one to send to the archive, which one not to. So I think it should be part of the disposition of the committee.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. We proceed to the next item.
New business. The letter dated July 24, 2017 of Punong Barangay Narvaez of Santa Cruz endorsing a resolution.
We refer this to the Committee on Environment. Next item.
The letter dated July 24 of Mr. Campillos submitting for consideration the collegial action, the request of Madam Maria Lucila Aborde, school head, Balatas Elementary School, regarding the proper and appropriate document that the city could provide with respect to the site ownership of the school and informing that Balatas Elementary School occupies a portion of the proposed Oswag-Balatas resettlement project.
Is this pending before the Committee on Land Use? Okay, so we are referring this item to that committee.
The letter dated July 27 of Mr. Francis J. Calyao, BSA Horticulture, Central Bicol State University of Agriculture, asking financial assistance for his
Committee on Appropriations.
The letter dated July 18 of Ms. Cristina Francia Duck.
We refer this to the Committee on Transportation together with items 5, 6, 7. Next item.
Number 8. The proposed ordinance of the Honorable City Councilor Mila S. Rakid Arroyo strengthening the Kaantabay sa Kauswagan program by amending Section 3A of Article 2, first paragraph of Article 7, Sections 22 and 28 of Article
Committee
9.
on Housing and Settlement. Next item.
Nominal voting.
Councilor Del Rosario.
Mr. Chair, kung ko po ning time na ni to request from the Sangguniang na possible a resolution na authorizing the City Mayor to conduct traffic experiment di po sa may area kang Robinsons in anticipation sa opening. Although po mayaning request ang Office of the Mayor, but i-anticipate kung pwede lang pong i-anticipate kang Sangguniang para maka-implement man ang PSO sa PNP ning movements kang si traffic dyan sa diversion Almeida Highway, Carnation, Naga City Subdivision. So may I request, may I move, Mr. Chair, that we pass a resolution na authorizing the City Mayor to
we amend first our order of business for the inclusion of that particular item.
I move that we amend the order of business, Mr. Chair.
Any second? Without objection, the same is approved under SBO.
May I move that we pass a resolution authorizing the City Mayor to conduct experimentation for 30 days in the area of Robinsons, Naga City Subdivision in anticipation of the opening of the said mall.
Any second? Councilor Ray Anrintoy.
Procedural matter. Can we authorize the City Mayor without him asking us for authority in certain matters?
Councilor Lito Del Rosario.
Yes, I understand, Mr. Chair, na for proprietary reasons, but medyo suod na ang time, Mr. Chair. With due respect to Councilor Rentoy, this is anticipation, in anticipation of the
Okay. At any rate, should we consider your comment, Councilor Rentoy, as an objection to the motion? Okay. Councilor Rakid Arroyo.
Would next week be too late in order to comply with the procedures? Because the procedure is also not just a matter of mechanical thing. It also concerns respect between the two branches. Pag i-authorize na kaya siya, garota siya pigsusugo, taday man siya sa tuya nagahagad ning authority. It's an implementation matter kaya eh. So unless igo siyang request for the authority, garota siya sinusugo kaya yan. So if the Honorable Del Rosario, I believe, why did you not ask the Mayor this prior to the session? Anyway, ikama lang ang susuguon niya kaya eh. Diba?
When do you think the experimentation should start, Councilor Lito?
From August 1 to 30.
August 1, meaning today?
Yes. Iyo ko ang proposal or next week, Mr. Chair.
Is the Mayor aware that the supposed experimentation is to start today?
No, dahil po, Mr. Chair. Ang proposal ko is to cover the experimentation. Or
yes, but the proposal is supposed to be relayed to the City Mayor. Was that proposal already relayed to the Mayor?
That's only my proposal, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So meaning the period can be adjusted?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So can we consider the idea of requesting first?
Yes, yes.
The city mayor? Okay. So we defer this particular item. Councilor Del Castillo?
Dahil ko kuta magigiramdaman ni Mr. Chair, pero pigsaban experimentation, nagramdaman ko lugod. Si final report, Mr. Chair, kan experimentation that we authorized last year. Dahil ko pa nahihiling si final report because part of that report, supposedly, will answer the problem near St. Joseph School. So, sagun ko niyan, mayo pa si report kan Traffic Management Center. So, arog palugod giraraya kaya ng sitwasyon sa may St. Joseph. So, siguro it's high time na we reiterate our request or directive to the Traffic Management Center na i-submit naman sa tuya si long overdue report kan si experimentation last year.
Okay. The Secretary will send a letter to the concerned offices. Any other matter? If none, on nominal voting, Councilor Baldimoro.
Maraming salamat, Ginoong Pangulo ng Hapag. Bago po ang botohang nominal, ako ay nagpapasalamat sa ating mga kasangguni na ginamit ang wikang Pilipino sa talakayan ng ating palagiang sesyon. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat.
Sa botohang nominal, akin pong minumungkahay na lahat ng naaprubahan na resolusyon at ordinansa ay ilipat sa botohang nominal at atin ang aprubahan.
Any second? Meron bang pumapangalawa? Without objection, same is approved.
Akin pong minumungkahay na tapusin na ang ating palagiang sesyon.
Session is now adjourned.
Colors will keep on turning.